What it good be? Hopefully it's what it should be. This is your boy N.O.R.E.
What up, it's DJ EFN.
And this is Drink Champs every hour. Make some noise! Now this is one of the most exciting I've been. I woke up today, I was focused on this. I didn't wear jewelry, I didn't want to wear, drive no expensive car or nothing like that. I wanted to really just get into this. This is something that I feel like Drink Champs we need. With us doing the things that we do, we smoke, we drink, but I want to have...
You smoke, I drink.
Yeah. I want to have something positive. I want to share. I want to share. And I'm very excited to this brother that's standing here because when it's a black issue or it's something that's happening in society, it's one of the first things I do is I go on his Instagram, and I know he's going to say something about it. Like the Super Bowl, instantly, he immediately has said something about the Super Bowl. Right. So in case you people don't understand or know who I'm talking about the brother Rizza Islam! How do you pronounce this? Rizza Islam?
Rizza.
I
love our brother Rizza. So
Rizza, okay.
Yes,
so how you say it again?
Rizza,
okay.
Yes, sir.
So let's get into the Super Bowl, for instance. You said something that was very very ill to me. You said that every time there's something major that happens, you said what they do is they make a circus?
Yes.
Okay, so...
Yeah, the Super Bowl is actually referred to as the Roman circus. You're dealing with something that was long ago in Rome. So whenever the society was going down, the government was pretty much destroying the people, doing some real nasty things. People, they would put them in the Coliseum, or it was called the Roman circus, or it was also called the Circus Maximus, to distract the people so that the government can continue doing what they're doing, just like this government is doing today.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to bounce around subjects. Another thing that I thought was very interesting is the Oprah issue. Okay. So the Oprah issue, for people that's sleeping under a rock, it's seeming like... can somebody pull up the Shade Room?
Her doing the doc about Russell Simmons,
what you call it?
Michael Jackson.
What you call it? What's her name? Monique. Monique had just spoke on this. So I want somebody to read this, and I want you to tell me what you think of this.
Absolutely.
You got it, Has? We're gonna put you on there, brother. Can you read? Of course. He's been working on it. All right, cool. All right, read it. Now you're gonna be all nervous and shit.
Hold on. Listen, make sure I get the right one.
It's about Monique.
You got it?
Man, Has really just took your job, bro.
All right, so let me see. So she said, I felt compelled to write you this open letter after observing the disparity in the way that you seem to treat people who were accused of the same allegations. You did an interview on the CBS Morning Show and were asked about Harvey Weinstein by Norah O'Donnell, and you said as it pertains to him that you always try to look at the rainbow in the clouds, whatever is the silver lining. You also said if we make this all about Harvey Weinstein, then we have lost the moment. When you either are or were going to be a part of a documentary on Michael Jackson and Russell Simmons, how is that not making it all about them? Interestingly, brother MJ was acquitted and deceased, so how is it not off limits? Russell and Harvey are accused of the same thing, so in fairness, how do you not support the accusers of both, as you said you did with RS, or you look for the silver lining for both like you said you did for Harvey Weinstein?
Powerful.
That was Monique, right?
That's Monique.
Oh yeah. Monique constantly calls out, Oprah and what's really going on in Hollywood. I'll just say it this way. Number one, for those who don't understand, which we all should understand by now, there is a strategic attack on the image of not only black men, but brown men as well. Those who are the rich elite in Hollywood, who happen to be Caucasian, can just simply pay money and have everybody hush, and they just go on about the mosey on day. Harvey Weinstein paid over $20 million specifically to get off for his over 20 accusers, and therefore they also had an agreement to where they won't say anything about what happened, while at the same time, simultaneously, Russell Simmons was not found guilty of anything. He also took 9 3-hour lie detector tests and passed all 27 hours.
Wait a minute.
Why is that not publicized?
Whoa.
Of course it was. This is public information.
No, it's public, but it's not like publicized to the masses.
Of course not, because the same people who control the media control Oprah. Right. So this is what I'm saying. 9 3-hour lie detector tests, which is 27 hours of hard interrogation about these allegations when it comes to women. The same exact situation that happened with Harvey Weinstein, women are accusing Russell Simmons. But one is guilty, the other is not. And it's plain and simple. Same thing with Michael Jackson. They had over 791 pages in his FBI file. They were recording it for 10 years under his not knowing. And he was found not guilty of all of these different allegations. But Mike has been gone for 10 years. And you dig him up from the grave with allegations from 2 Caucasian males who earlier said that he was not guilty of doing this when he went to court, but now they renege on that and say, oh, you know what, he did this and that to me, and it's simply allegations again.
And he's not here to defend himself.
And he's not here to defend himself. So the question is, what's really going on? That's all. That's all we're saying is what's really going on and who is controlling Oprah. It's not about Oprah, but it is exactly who is behind her, helping her to push this movement against the image and the character of the black male.
Now damn, man, you kind of fucked me up. Hold on, I didn't know.
Get into it.
Yeah, because I seriously didn't know that. Like, I seriously
about the latest. I didn't know.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, Russell. Obviously, you know him personally. I know I seen y'all on live.
Yes, sir.
But I feel like when Russell went to Bali, right, and he went away. So many times when people face a problem, when a problem comes in and they go away, it automatically makes you kind of feel guilty. So the fact is, like, I wish Russell was more vocal about it, as opposed to just hitting Oprah. Like, he did hit Oprah and said, yo, whatever. But I wanted Russell to really, like, yo, look, that what you just said, but you know, he got brothers like you that can step up and stuff. But I think that Russell has to lead with that. Like,
but he did do an open letter.
He did open letter. He did make it public, but the news media suppressed most of the stuff. He did come out and say it. He did speak on it. He made and he apologized for what he did do as being a part of Hollywood at any point. So let's just make it very clear. He didn't just sit there and say, oh, you know what, they're just lying on me. No, he said, we said in Hollywood, we have done many things. I had my life when I was doing what I was doing. You know, I'm not an innocent man when it comes to the lifestyle that I took part in at the time that I did. He said, however, these allegations I'm not guilty of. And then you know, outlined different things and he questioned Oprah, why would you do this? I mean, what's really going on? I love you. We have, interviews, all these different things, but it's not just him. Again, she went after him. She went after Michael Jackson. She goes after all the black
Kelly
men.
didn't she got something about R. Kelly too?
R. Kelly, I'm going to stand way away from that.
Okay, cool.
So if he's guilty in let's make this very clear. Any black man who is guilty of these things, because there are some who are guilty, they should suffer the consequences. However, at the same time, any white man who is guilty should suffer the consequences as well.
All
we're saying is let's be equitable, let's be fair, and just all across the board.
Transparent across the board.
We all, if they are all guilty, let them all suffer the consequences.
I agree. Let's make some noise for that. So the other day, right, I went to Puff's Super Bowl party.
Yes, sir.
And it was something that hit me. Because it was like, damn, you know, first off, our people, when we get together, it's like one of the most joyous things. Like to see black people having fun, to see, you know, black, brown. When I say black, I mean Latinos as well. Because, you know, I'm both. But it hit me. It was like, damn, we really get together and we really celebrate something. Like, I guess we were celebrating the Super Bowl, right? But I was like, how the fuck can we do this on a normal basis? Where it's not just getting together for a reason, it's getting together for, like, you know, how do we maintain something like that?
Absolutely. First of all, for those who listen and look up to brothers like yourself, the artists, you know, the DJs, those who have influence, to a degree, you'll have to take the lead and do that. You know, to a degree. You'll have to. We can do that, and we do that, because now we're being looked to as the conscious, influential leaders. You know, a celebrity type of brother and sister who is out here doing the work in the community. So we are, you know, making those moves. However, some of the brothers who are at the top, who have more of an influence financially, etc., those who wear the chains and all that, the young brothers and the sisters in the hood look up to you. They see what you do, and they really want to have what you have. So you have to take the step and the initiative to say, you know what, let me do something, step out of the norm, like you're saying, and just do something. Let's just have, you know, I don't know, watch parties of documentaries all across the country. Let's have economic, you know, buy black for a week, and just go out and cash out all black-owned business. Just lead by example. Do what you can.
If we were, you know what I thought about the other day, and I really thought about this. I said, if we was to, like, because, you know, everyone thinks in hip hop we all speak to each other, and it's the furthest thing from the truth, right?
Wow.
Like
when I saw with the generations.
When I grew up, I thought Big Daddy Kane and Rakim hung out. Like when I got, it hurt me to find out that. But how do we combine? Like, because for instance, right? You know, this show we smoke, we drink, or whatever. But to me, this is important to have you on here and to have you. How do we continue to do that? How do we like? Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, right? The first time I got knowledge of self was, or first, what made me not want to go to church was me seeing these preachers that was acting better than me.
Oh man,
that were acting angelic, but then and then looking down on me. The first thing that Rizza Islam and the 5% Nation.
Yes.
When 5% Nation was like they was a part. That's what attracted me because they were a part of the community. You know what I'm saying? How do we bring back a new 5%? Something like that. Like, is that even possible?
Oh, of course. Well, I just say there's nothing wrong with the old 5% because those who strive to do righteous work and good work in the community are part of the 5%. Okay, you are part of the 5% with whatever good you do. You are, with whatever good you do. There's simply the difference with those who know the science, the knowledge of self, the knowledge of who God is, the timing of what must be done, etc. And those are a part. We're family. You see, we're family. The Nation of Islam, the FOI, we're in the community all the time, all day. Whenever you see the brothers with this paper in the community, the Final Call newspaper, #1 black-owned news publication in the world, self-sustaining. This is what helps to sustain our own economy so that we can speak the truth. It sponsors and helps to go towards our independent schools, the Muhammad University of Islam. It goes towards our independent businesses. It goes towards our farms that we have, to where we have our own food. But what we have to do, one, stop being afraid to talk to one another. And I mean, really, the enemy sees all of us as one people. We need to see ourselves as one people. I can't sit here and stand this nonsense, this spiritual game banging, intellectual game banging, conscious game banging, and then get mad at the Bloods and Crips for game banging and doing the same thing we doing. I'm tired of that nonsense, brother, and that has expired. The enemy sees all of us as one people.
That's real.
So if they on the same page, we need to get on the same page, but in a righteous manner, going towards something that goes towards freedom, justice, and equality for our people.
Is the FOI, most of the FOI... Yeah, let's make some noise for that. And you from LA, correct?
Yes, sir, Compton.
Okay, Compton. Goddamn, make some noise for Compton. So how does one go? I imagine you had to experience gang culture growing up.
Yeah. So we don't fall from heaven, bro.
Right. So how was that? How did you get knowledge of stuff? How did you?
Man, I was born and raised in Compton, California, in Richland Farms, Compton, California. That's the area where Farm Dog is, not far from Nutty Block, Spook Town, those areas. I'm the youngest of 10 children, 5 boys, 5 girls. I'm the tallest, but I'm the youngest. And
Makes a difference.
I mean, it really, right? My mom. She raised us pretty much by herself. Most of my brothers and sisters was gang banging, on drugs. My older sister was on crack cocaine for 20 years on Skid Row. This was the regular, everyday situation going on. The way I found knowledge of self was that my stepfather brought us to the mosque, Muhammad Mosque number 54 in Compton, California. And I was young, brother. I was praying in Arabic before I was praying in English. I was praying at 3, 4, and 5 years old on the rug, praying to the east, washing my hands, feet. I didn't even know what I was saying, but I was just watching reading the Quran, all of that. I didn't know, what I'm saying. I'm a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, etc. But that's how I found out. And when I grew to about the age of 8 or 9, my stepfather was arrested, taken to jail. Family collapsed. Everybody went back to gang banging, smoking, going into the neighborhoods, and it was just me and my mom left. And after that, that's when I was with her, learning about things in the community, doing my best to work in the community, and then of course, being at the mosque, is what brought me full circle back to the knowledge of exactly what it is that we're dealing with, who I am, who our people are, who the devil is, who God is, etc. Yes, sir.
So
I was pretty much born in the Nation of Islam.
How does because one of the illest things about the FOI is the discipline.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And you can't, obviously, if you're a former gang...
Explain the FOI to people who might not know exactly what...
Well, for me, and then I'm going to let him explain, because obviously he can explain more. But to me, that was like our heroes in hip hop. Like when the Source Awards was out of control, there was only one person. That's our police for hip hop.
Here in Miami too, all the old school hip hop events. No, there was no security like in the clubs.
Yeah, I felt great. Like when I would go to a place and I would see the FOI there, like it would immediately I would feel at ease. I would feel like these are my brothers, and no matter what happens, they're gonna be here to protect me. And that's I don't even know how I developed that. It's just something like it's like how you love your moms. Like you don't know how you love your mom, you just know you love her.
That's right.
And that's the thing is, so yeah, you explain what FOI
Absolutely.
is.
What the FOI stands for, the fruit of Islam.
Of course.
It is a name given to the military training of the men who belong to Islam in North America.
Right.
Specifically those who study Islam, who are under the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And today our reminder is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Right.
Our leader, our teacher, our guide, that is the one.
Right.
And so even though we came from the hood, a lot of us came out the church, a lot of us came out the pen. You know, came up right out of hell, brothers, Bloods, Crips, they all kinds of hoods, killers, and all these things. And we came up out of that, and we simply strive to live a righteous life, do our best to make the hood better than what we used to do, which was to make it worse. So that's what the FOI are. We are that righteous, you could say, God's military, and like you said, just your brothers. So whenever you see us, you're like, they go to brothers.
Yeah, they go to brothers. I feel great.
You know, we're gonna be there to protect you, and that's what we are.
So this is a lifelong question, and you help me understand this. One of the biggest critiques of the Fruit of Islam or Nation of Islam is the quarrels or the beefs that they said between Malcolm X and Elijah. Oh no, wasn't not Elijah.
No, yes, sir.
Farrakhan. No, Farrakhan. They said that they said that. So for people that don't know and people who just see the movie or just read the book and just hear the rumors, can you explain that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll just say really quick. Number one, just understand this. For those who say you love Malcolm, then you have to be doing your best to live the life that Malcolm was living. Number one. Number two, don't sit here, run around respectfully. Don't be smoking, drinking, smacking up women and say Malcolm X. Let's be real, bro. That was Detroit Red.
That was Detroit Red. That was not Malcolm X. That's right.
And Malcolm X was a brother. He was very disciplined. He ate 1 meal a day. He prayed 5 times a day. You know, he was a very disciplined.
Elijah Muhammad ate 1 meal a day.
Oh yes, sir. Elijah Muhammad is the one who taught us how to eat 1 meal.
How to eat to live.
How to eat to live.
That's the original intermittent fasting. Then
come on, that's the one.
Okay.
He taught Malcolm all of this information. He named Malcolm X. He gave him his X. Like my name is Brother Rizza Islam with an X. I have an X.
Right. Okay.
See, so you can Rizza Islam X. We the standard for people who don't know that. But Brother Malcolm was doing beautiful work. He was not the leader of the Nation of Islam. He was not older than the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He was not older. He was younger or older than Minister Farrakhan. Minister Farrakhan was not an authority at the time. Elijah Muhammad was. Brother Malcolm was one of the top ministers, and he became the national spokesperson for the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And the quarrel came because the enemy came between the brotherhood. Now let's make this very clear. Anyone who doesn't know about COINTELPRO, anyone who thinks COINTELPRO is gone, you might want to think again. They have always been in between us when they see us rising and doing things for ourselves, doing good things for ourselves, doing things that go against how they benefit from us being degraded. So they stepped in between Malcolm. Yes, there were agents that infiltrated the nation, just like there are agents that infiltrate every single black organization on the planet. And they strategically maneuvered and played with and manipulated him against his teacher. And that is how it eventually got to the point to where it was. People say the nation killed Malcolm. No, we did not. If we did, why is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan out in jail? They want something to put him in jail. So he said, open up the files. Minister Farrakhan said this to the world, please open them. Please show the world. Because that way, you know, the truth will be seen.
With the Kennedy, with coming home to roost?
Robert F. Kennedy, yes. And mind you, when Malcolm was told that, it wasn't just Malcolm. The Honorable or the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told all the members of the Nation of Islam, all the ministers, do not speak on the death of Robert F. Kennedy. Because he said the people love him. As we don't want anything negative to come towards us, do not speak anything negatively towards Robert F. Kennedy. It wasn't just for Malcolm, that was for everybody in the nation. But Malcolm said what he said.
And let me ask you something, because I still don't understand that statement, the chicken's coming home to roost.
Oh, yes.
What does that mean? Like,
I never understood.
Oh, okay.
You got what you gave. What goes around comes around. And at that time,
was it something specific? Was it the dealings with the mafia?
I never knew
why
everyone went so crazy.
Well, no, I don't know entirely. It was specifically, you know, you're referring to the government, you're referring to white people, you're referring to the President of the United States. The government, white people, President of the United States have not been good to black people. So he was saying, hey, I think it's a case of the chickens coming on the roost. And everybody's like, well, dang. Black folks love them and white folks love them. It's like, brother, wait a minute. Whoa. We were told not to speak on that. I have been told in order not to speak on certain things. We all have, because, brother, we are a military. We have a military order of things. That's why he said the discipline. We all have that. I have spoken out of turn at a certain point, and I was sat down before. Malcolm ain't the only one. This goes all the way down. You know how it is when you're in the street. You violate what the big homie say. Just sit them down. Of course. Just sit down, stop talking for a minute, you know, 30 days, can't talk, whatever. Okay, but with Malcolm, he did that. And again, as I said, he was manipulated by this enemy just like it happens all the time. There were agents around him constantly.
So in his ear, like they infiltrated him specifically?
And they would black people with white minds. who were created by this government. You have to. The same thing happens today. You see stuff like this happen all the time. It wasn't just with Malcolm. It was with Martin Luther King. It was with Medgar. It was with our brother, the most honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. All of them. They had agents, people who looked black, who were doing things on behalf of this government.
You call him Marcus Mosiah Garvey?
Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Oh yeah, brother. We honor
first time
all
I
of
heard
our great leaders. All of them.
That's the first time I heard.
See, we ain't doing no gang banging up in here. Ain't no righteous gang banging, no spiritual gang, none of that nonsense. All of those who did work on behalf of our people, we love all of those who came before us. I stand on all of their shoulders, brother. Whether you call yourself a Moor, Hebrew Israelite, Pan-Africanist, Nawabian, Hebrew, again, Nation of Gods on Earth, Nation of Islam. You all do good work, so I'm standing on all of y'all shoulders.
What you think about Kanye West Sunday service?
See, like, here you go. Here you go.
Listen. They said if you want to be safe, right, and you don't, the two things you don't talk about is religion and politics. Today we are breaking both of those rules.
Yes,
we're gonna talk about religious and goddamn politics. Goddamn. So what do you think about Sunday service?
I think Kanye is one of the most misunderstood individuals on the planet, influential individuals on the planet, but also co-signed by his enemy individuals on the planet. So there are different factors there. Okay, we have to look at the passing of his mother, Kanye, and the post or after passing of his mother, Kanye.
Like the evolution of
you must
Kanye,
look at what that did to him. His mother was his best friend. She was there for everything for him. She did as much as she could to raise him. That man was broken when his mother passed away. Everyone who watched that saw him decline right after.
Absolutely.
He just kept doing crazy thing after crazy thing. We're like, what the hell's wrong with Kanye? But as he evolved and as he continued to grow, again, the enemy always slides in when they see an opportunity to use somebody who was influential over the people. So he was taken to a psychiatrist. And when you go to a psychiatrist and they label you depressed and they label you all of these made up non-scientific labels, they can do virtually whatever they want to you. So with him, what they did with him was he was put on certain psychiatric drugs. And what those do to you, some of the common side effects or effects happen to be death, happen to be suicidal thoughts, homicidal tendencies. And so it manipulates the way you think. It changes your personality. Chemically, it physically alters your brain pattern. So therefore
with
now...
With
these drugs. And by the way, these drugs, Wellbutrin, Adderall, Thorazine, you can name each and every one of those, are listed on the Drug Enforcement Agency's list as a Schedule II narcotic, meaning they are 1 or 2 chromosomes away from cocaine and methamphetamine. These are legal cocaine, legal meth, all of these different drugs. They're the same thing. Children are,
and the amount that they want you to take it is going to be worse.
It's worse.
The impact is going to be
crazier. On coke legally. It's called Ritalin. I mean, for real. So Kanye, although he's sincerely a good brother on the inside, he's being used from what I have seen. Just from what I've seen. I don't know all the facts of exactly what's going on with him, but him to do a Sunday service, him to love Jesus and God, and him to want to inspire the people with creativity, I have no problem against that. That's a beautiful thing. The way people believe is how they believe, but the brother's intention with what he's doing like that is a beautiful thing. We just want him to do more for inspiring the community, to do things like, buy up the community, buy black, establish business. And he's doing somewhat like that. He's talking about the industry. He's speaking the truth about that. So he's doing some things that we should always look at and acknowledge. We should do our best to settle on the best part of one another. You know what I'm saying? It's like me being here. Yeah, my brothers are smoking and drinking. But who the hell would I be? Like you said, to look down on you as if I'm the holy one. Like, no, bro, we all came up out of hell. I can't get mad at you my people. We go among our people every day, smoking, drinking, playing, whatever. We with them. I gotta come among y'all, and you gotta come among us. We can't play around with this nonsense.
In my mind, I'm F.O.I.
You are.
In my mind, in my mind, but I point it to my heart because, I feel a part of it. But so now, when we speak about Christianity, right? The further I got in my life, I heard, and I'm not sure. You let me know that Christianity was a religion that was placed upon us when we got to America. Like when we were supposedly back in Africa, they were Muslims, they were vegetarians, they were things of that nature. But is that true that when blacks became Christians is when we was brought over on the Santa, the Pinta,
the Europeans.
Absolutely. We first of all, let's make this very clear because some people say, well, Islam enslaved people, Christianity enslaved people. That is absolutely correct. However, you're dealing with the Caucasian using Islam and Christianity to enslave people. Make that very clear. Because I can say I'm a Muslim, but if I do something to you that's against Islam, I ain't no Muslim. I'm a devil using the name of Islam to do devilishment. Same thing with Christianity. There were Christians who were early Christians that were not under Jesus the way people portray him. You're talking about Ethiopian Christians. You're talking about those who practice a system long before the Caucasian was even here. So Christianity, when we were brought into slavery, it was a bastardized white supremacist form of sun worship. Using Jesus, the white version or the white man, or Caesar Borgia, the picture of that white man, as God. And they put that on us. So ergo, psychologically, we're believing that now God is a white man. You see? So they put that on us during slavery. Yeah, the majority of our ancestors were Muslims coming over here, meaning one who submits his or her will to do the will of God. That's all Muslim means. If you want to do what God says to do, you want to submit to do God's will, you're a Muslim. That's the actual definition of the word.
So not specifically the organizational...
No.
So you don't have to take your shahada.
Islamic religion.
It just means you submit to do the will of God. Now then you get into the political stuff. Then you get to am I a Sunni, a Shia, Nation of Islam. Hey.
I've always wondered that. What is the N.O.R.E either or?
No, we're simply Muslims.
Not Shia, not Sunni.
The Holy Quran says Muslim.
Okay.
We're just Muslims. Now you want to get into that cultural, political nonsense? You see what I'm saying? All that gang banging. Well, I believe that this person should rule. Which is
gang banging at its core.
Spiritual gang banging. Religious gang banging. We ain't into
which is crazy.
No, bro. So to answer your question, yes, it was put on us in that way. They put the Bible on us, the manipulated 1611 King James version of the Bible, which there are well over 20 different versions long before the King James. Right? Let's make that very clear. But they put that one on us, and they wouldn't let us read it, but they would read it to us, and they would read only the scriptures that would talk about slaves being good to their masters, the book of Peter, slaves obey your masters the same way you would obey Christ. Treat your slave worse if he's not a Christian versus the one who is a Christian. This is all in the Bible. Don't get mad at me. Look it up.
Wow.
It's all in the book. So they would do these things so that we would maintain, or they would maintain a level of dominance over us.
Tools of control.
Tools of control. They did not want us to know our original name, language, culture, or religion, or who God truly was. Nat Turner woke up.
Yeah.
He was a Christian.
That's the homie.
Yeah, the problem they did with him was they gave him the book.
See the movie?
Oh yeah, Birth of a Nation.
Okay,
you gotta see that. Did a good job. Did a good job. You gotta see.
I got tired of watching slave movies after a while. Where is like the glory of?
Come on.
Like I can't stand it no more.
Yeah, somebody said Django.
Django?
Yeah, Django was one of them.
Django was foul though too, right?
Yeah, it was foul. The slave movies, we gotta stop. Yeah, we gotta stop with the slave movies. We need to see all the movies of our great ancestors and what they were doing. The empires, the kingdoms and how successful we were.
That's why I love Black Panther. Like,
Black Panther.
I loved it because
it's talking about Mansa Musa. Black Panther was actually talking about Mansa Musa, the king of Mali. He was the richest man on the planet, a black man.
Oh, wow.
That's what Black Panther was talking about. All of that.
And it was a place in Africa as well, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, yeah.
What is it called?
Wakanda.
Okay. What is it? What is
Wakanda.
Wakanda, yes, Wakanda.
Yeah.
That's like the concept of that is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, the story is written as King T'Challa, or who is the Black Panther, was worth over $90.7 trillion. He had more money and more wealth than Batman, Iron Man, etc. That was the comic book. How they wrote it. The only man who reached that type of wealth was Mansa Musa, the king of Mali, a black Muslim. He was the richest man on the planet to date. No one else is richer than that man. So that movie was fashioned after,
See, why is that publicized more?
They can't do that. Just like they can't Superman as a black man. Don't get mad. Wait, tell us that for
Wait.
I'm already going to
Did you say Superman is a black man?
Come on, Noah.
I ain't know this. I ain't know this.
It's all truth, bro.
Okay,
well, Superman is a black man. Number one, his name is Kal-El. El is a Hebrew name. Okay, he gets his power from the sun, which means you must have melanin. Carbon 12. You be black. He had an S on his chest, but the original drawings was an upside down pyramid with a snake going through it in Egypt. You have all these different facts that connect, and he also was faster than a speeding bullet. The comic books that was written at the time during Adolf Hitler's race and Jesse Owens, the book and the two brothers, Siegel and Schuster, fashioned his speed after Jesse Owens because he beat Adolf Hitler. And then the comic book, it was Superman defeating Adolf Hitler. I can go down this list all day long. Superman was a black man. Don't get mad again.
So what happened in the interpretation of the author? What happened there?
Of course, Jack Kirby and, let me see, Stan Lee. Stan Lee said that he fashioned these cartoon characters, for example, Magneto and Professor Xavier. Professor Xavier wanted to integrate with the people, wanted to kill him, etc., non-violent, let us come together. He fashioned him after Martin Luther King. Magneto said by any means necessary is what they put. They said Magneto in the cartoon did not want to integrate. He wanted to have a world just with the mutants or these people who had superhuman abilities. And so he fashioned him after Malcolm X. Stan Lee said that the civil rights movement is what inspired a large...
Wait, who after Malcolm X? Who?
Magneto.
Magneto. I can see that now that you say it.
Yeah, he fashioned a lot of the superheroes after civil rights leaders.
And we got while we on this, we got to talk about Jesus being black.
Oh yeah, of course. Jesus. So first of all, his name wasn't Jesus. There was no J in the Hebrew language. Prior to the 1600s, the letter J didn't come into existence, number one. Number two, his name was Esau. His name was Yeshua. You know, different names you want to give him.
Joshua?
Yeshua.
You Yahweh? No, that's God.
No, that's God. Right, right. But there are different names, but none of them had the letter J. Right? Yes, he was a black man in Palestine. That's in Africa. And you have to be olive dark skin in order for you to live in that area because they didn't have no SPF 20, 30, or 40. Sun protecting, skin protecting to, no sunblock. So you had to live in that area and be a black man. His mother was a Egyptian, Mother Mary. All of these things. He had hair like lamb's wool. That's in the Bible. He had skin as burnished brass, burned in an oven. That's in the Bible. So he was absolutely described as a black man. Plain and simple. People say, well, God doesn't see color. Stop it. Just
God
stop
is
it.
What?
They say God doesn't see color.
Okay.
No, God does see color. But it doesn't mean, because I'm this color, I'm better or worse.
Okay.
It's just that's the reality. I'm looking at him, he's lighter than me. I can't say I'm colorblind. The brother's lighter than me.
Yes.
What's the problem? There's nothing wrong with that. He's lighter. Okay, we probably the same complexion. What's the problem? See, people don't want to speak real, man. They want to get real sensitive nowadays. You can't just speak the truth, and that's why the world is in the condition that it's in.
Okay, now I gotta ask.
Go ahead, brother, go ahead.
Donald Trump what is going on?
The first Cheeto president. The first orange president.
Oh, Cheetos. I'm like, what does Cheeto mean? Okay.
Man, I'll say this. Donald J. Trump is a gift and a curse, specifically for black people in America. Black, brown, and impoverished people in America. Why? Number one, he is one of the only presidents who came out and told the straight truth about how he feels. I don't like you. I don't like you. You niggas.
And that's good.
You stank.
That's good or bad?
Because we finally have a president that's honest with us. Stop lying. Damn, thank you for saying that.
Agendas.
Exactly. No hidden. He's just telling you straight. I don't like you. I don't like you. You a nigga. You rapist. Whatever. He's just saying that straight.
So nobody's surprised about the agenda.
Right. Exactly. So if you're surprised, and it's clear that you are still stuck. Okay. He is one of the only ones to be completely upfront about how he feels. Number one. Number two. By him being honest about how he feels about black, brown, and impoverished people, which includes impoverished, poor white people. He don't care about them either, really.
Yeah, he don't care about them
By
either.
him being honest with all of us like that, forces us to come together. Because the master and controller and commander-in-chief of the highest office in the land told you straight up, I don't like you, you a nigga, I don't like you. Go back home. It's like, well, damn. What does that mean then? Okay, maybe I should stop fighting with you, my brother, because the president sees us as one people. So maybe we should see ourselves as one people.
One of the things that you probably will know about this more than me, but I heard one of the oldest Mexican gangs and one of the oldest like Crip or Blood gangs finally had squashed their beef this year.
F-13s and East Coast Crips.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know who it was.
That's legitimate. Y'all should clap for that if you know.
One of my LA people said, "Yo, it's big."
Yes,
and
sir.
then and I said,
huge. That's huge.
And I said, because I don't know, I'm an East Coast guy, so I said, "Yo, why is it big?" They said they've been warring forever.
Yes,
but they
over
said
20 years.
Donald Trump made that happen, and I got chills. No, I got chills. They said we both realized he's both our enemy. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, like chills, like came down my body, like, and in that way, it's kind of good, right?
Absolutely. See that, and that's the point. Who inspired that thought in them and between them? It wasn't just Donald Trump.
Right.
We in the Nation of Islam met with them because they said we want to squash his beef. the Western Regional Representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Student Minister Abdul Malik Saeed Muhammad. His former name was Tony Muhammad.
Okay.
He was called by them. And they said, listen.
By both gangs?
By both gangs. We want to squash this. We have Mexicans in the nation. See, what the Mexicans is very clear. We are the original people. Like Brown and Rizza, we're together. But they told them, listen, we want to squash this. There's a lot of killing going on. So Minister Abdul Malik said, okay, what would you like to do? When would you like to meet? We can do this. I was there. I want to make this very clear. Came together, sat down, a large amount of them, a large amount of our brothers from the East Coast. And they both on each side said we need to stop the killing. They each stood up and said some of your people from your side knocked off a few of our little homies, named a couple of them, et cetera, et cetera. So what do you got to say about that? The other side got to apologize. They both apologized. You knocked off some of ours. So what we're going to do, we're going to end this. We're going to keep killing. They both agreed to end it. Big homies brought down the order. No more killing of blacks. No more killing of Mexicans. We ending this today. That order trickled down all the way through the hoods. So it's a reality. And what was one of the catalysts, one of the factors that helped them to see that it is better to unite? Donald Trump. Because what he is planning and has planned to do comes after black and brown. He got Mexican children in cages. He got black folks staying in prison when they should have been out. So it's like, well, damn, if this person has this much control over both of us, we ain't got no business being divided over here. Neither one of us own the blocks that we banging from. Neither one of us own the cities that we claiming. Neither one of us own any of this, but yet I have the audacity to sit there and bang on somebody just because he's lighter than me, not realizing that he's a third African, he's partly my cousin. This is family right here. So we need to understand that this is family business. Come together and stop killing yourselves because the enemy is planning to kill us all. And that's the situation.
It says reversing divide and conquer.
It's uniting and building, not dividing and conquering.
But I also want to reiterate this because there's white Muslims as well. Because
yes.
I want you to say that too because I don't want people to.
There are there are white Muslims, absolutely, absolutely.
That believe in the same thing.
That believe in the same God. Yes, they read the Holy Quran, they speak in Arabic and pray 5 times. Yes, absolutely.
And you got locked up on the end of the year.
Yes, sir.
What the hell happened?
Like everybody, like, wait, what?
My friend from Sunny D said, "Yo, he got locked up." I said, "No, I didn't know that."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Speaking the truth has its consequences, brother. And I feel like I'm among our leadership. I'm among the those who came before me. So a price you will pay for speaking the truth against a government that is diametrically opposed to your rise is being imprisoned. That is one of the prices you will have to pay. I wasn't locked up for anything, stealing, robbing, none of that. No, I spoke the truth. And yes, I had to pay the price for it. I went down. But when I got locked up and went in jail, I went in jail seeing some of the people who I had helped years before, who I was tutoring and getting them off of drugs. I was working with their families, getting them out of prison, getting their children back. And they said, Reese, what the hell you doing here? You the one be keeping us out of here. Some of the brothers from the East Coast in there, some of our F-13 brothers in there, some of our Samoan brothers in there, and they knew me. They said, you don't belong in here. What the hell you doing? They said, if they got you, we ain't got no damn chance. And I said, don't worry about it, brother, don't worry. This is a price you have to pay. So I took it honorably. Honorably, brother, for me to go to jail because I spoke the truth. Yes, against a system that continues to oppress my people, brown people, and even white people. They don't give a damn about their own poor people. So I'm not surprised, but then again, as I said, brother, when you are following the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, when you are studying the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, fear is not an option. I don't fear this government, I fear no man. Fear is for punks. You can't fear if you want to see your people free. It's not going to work that way. I'm not stupid, we're not ignorant. We're wise about how we move, but again, fear is the only thing that will stop us because it removes you from the nature under which God made you, which is only to fear Him, honor and respect, and go for the utmost worship of Him. But other than that, no, I don't fear a gun, I don't fear no man.
How do you become that fearless, though, being humans are fearful?
Yes. One, you have to have a belief in God. Number one, which is easier said than done. Yeah, your conviction, easier said than done. Whatever you call God, Whatever you call God. But that's number one. Number two, you have to see an example of someone who is fearless, who looks like you, one of your own people, and then being successful after having been fearless. See, the reason why I follow this man, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, is because I have watched him in person and on video speak against the most powerful government on this planet without fear. I mean, you know how it is, bro. I mean, he tearing into him, tearing into Satan, juggling, just just pulling it on him, just hitting him and hitting him, and he's still alive.
And years ago, he said that the United States will start a war with Iran.
He did.
He said
brother.
it 9 years ago or something like that.
Yes.
And we recently,
we're close to
during Trump being impeached or him announcing that, then all of a sudden he kills this guy. And
it's surprising that we're not already at war.
In Iran. And so
the minister's been calling the headlines well over 40 years, brother.
Right.
He's been calling the headlines. He talked about Ronald Reagan and what they were planning to do. He talked about George Bush and what they were planning to do to invade when they only met with the Joint Chiefs of Staff. That wasn't even public information. He's been calling the headlines for years, and people know that he is the man to follow. Right. They know this, but they have been trying to malign him, attack his character. Same thing.
Didn't Gaddafi try to give him like $1 billion and the United States blocked it?
Of course, brother. Colonel Muammar Gaddafi, man, I'll be pleased with our brother, was not some dictator. See, it's funny how the media will make you look like a damn monster. Wow. American media.
When it suits, because America was in bed with Gaddafi.
Come on, brother.
As well at one point.
Come on. Well, I'll just say this. In Libya, number one, Libya under Colonel Muammar Gaddafi had zero debt. They had free education, free health care. If you wanted to go to school abroad, they would give you the money and pay for the tuition, and they would pay for your room and board. When you got married, they would give the family $5,000. If you wanted to own a farm, they would give you all the tractors, all the seeds, and the land to till that farm. Gaddafi and the country of Libya was one of the only countries on the planet that had zero debt, was completely free to do whatever they wanted to do. And that's why they called him a dictator, because he would not allow America to have access to that wealth. He was going to create a joint currency using the wealth under the feet of the Libyan people, the gold, the oil, etc., and the wealth of the nearly 50 other countries in Africa, and come together to create a African currency. That money, based on the African worth, would have bankrupted China's yuan. It would have bankrupted America's dollar. It would have bankrupted the European pound. So that was removing total neocolonialism from the planet. And they said, we need to get rid of this nigga now. Because if he comes to power with those other 50 countries in Africa, we will have to bow to them. And we do not want to bow to them. That was what it was about, money. Because Gaddafi was a friend of America. Interestingly enough, Osama bin Laden was an agent in the United States government under the code name Tim Osman.
With the Russians.
The Russians
they needed to get in Afghanistan. They wanted to get the Russians out of Afghanistan. They called on Osama bin Laden. And he said, okay, fine, I'll help you to get them out. And they gave agreements. They gave him money. And they gave him intelligence information. The moment that happened, he got him out. He said, okay, good. Well, where's the end of your bargain? They said, forget this. We're not going to give you nothing. And that's what happened. And he turned on America. Same thing with Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein was a friend of America. He was a good friend of the Bush family. They gave him money. He actually was built into a military power with over $80 million. They did that for Saddam Hussein. He was given the key to the city of Detroit. I mean, let's be real here.
What? Which is a part of the history of why we have beef with Iran as well. Because we helped fund the Iran-Iraq war.
Come on, brother. He know what it is.
Holy moly!
Come on,
I knew I was gonna learn some shit. I knew I was gonna learn some shit, man. Damn, man, this is deep. This is
Jules, he's dropping Jules.
So when America tries to say this person, that person is a dictator, that person is a dictator, the first question you need to ask is, hold on. What is it that country has that America needs? That's the first question you'd ask yourself. America is currently over $60 trillion in debt. Make this very clear. America, if you look at Wall Street, they say a little over $22 trillion. But who do we owe? Y'all need to clap for that question. You need to clap for that. Ask it again. I have been waiting for somebody to ask you because we know. And the Honorable Mr. Sargon has been telling it for a long time. The international banking families of Europe. You're talking about the Wahlbergs, the DuPonts, the Rothschilds. You're talking about the Carnegies. You're talking about those people who the Rockefellers. They own America after 1913 with the creation of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve Act came into existence, and they literally are a gangster group that has nothing to do with the Constitution whatsoever. They took over the monetary printing of the money in America. That's only supposed to be given to Congress. They took over the continuous economic manipulation of America. So anything that happens in America goes through the international banking families of America, or Europe, pardon me. And they own America. They own most of the world, and that's what America owns. Exactly. international banking families of Europe.
So it's not even debt with China, it's them more than anything.
And let me just start about that. Yes, America owes China over 1.1 trillion, they owe Japan over $1 trillion, they actually owe North Korea money as well. America owes over 75 countries money.
Okay, so all right, just for me.
Let me know slow down, because I'm talking this
No. Just for me, because I really don't know this shit. So what do? They go and say, yo, let me borrow $1 trillion? Is that how it
they're
goes
like
down?
a humongous credit card to the world.
America is the biggest whore in the world.
God damn it.
The biggest oil junkie in the world.
Okay.
So America
I know some whores now, so you know.
Yeah. I had to say whore.
You talking about America's bigger than Lucia from my hood? No, let me stop.
America were a woman, I don't think any man would want to touch her. I just say it that way. Respectfully to the sisters, just being real, paint the picture. But America owes so many countries money, it's insane. It's really insane. So whenever she's talking about other countries and saying these are terrorists, see, you go to another nation that didn't invite you.
Right.
You try to have negotiations and tell them, listen, give us your oil, diamonds, etc. We'll have some negotiations. And they say, well, no, we don't want you to have that. You go to another one. And America says, oh, okay, cool. So America leaves, and what do? They send in agents through the CIA. They assassinate the leadership after they use the media in that country to turn the people against the leader of that country. Then it's called a coup. They assassinate the leader, and they prop up someone who was a CIA agent who they have trained to be the new person to run for the leadership of that country, put him in place, and then they have free access to the wealth that they already were trying to get in the first place. This is called a coup. America's been doing it for a very long time. They have murdered and assassinated leaders all across the planet.
Which Iran as well, with the Shah and everything.
The Shah. America is a gangster, brother.
Right.
I mean, a real one.
Now, because I'm bouncing around, so I'm gonna go.
Please, I'm with you.
Now, Dubai is probably the only place I've ever seen like drunk Muslims. And
say that again, brother, because it exists.
They really? I thought they
exists. There are Muslims who be getting drunk. Oh yeah.
Oh no.
In the Middle East?
Really?
Yeah.
I know they have the underground scenes.
No, this is not underground. This is overground.
No, you're right.
Yeah, this is overground. Listen. I go there and don't get me wrong. Everything is Muslim there, right?
Yeah. Right.
So you're gonna have, just like human beings, you're gonna have some bad, you're gonna have some good. Yeah. But that's the only place I've ever been to. I've been in the Middle East. I've been all over the fucking world, basically. That's the only place where I see that it's almost like they've been. It's almost like they've been the. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's almost like they've been the laws, and
of course,
so you
been them to fit their comfort zone, what they want to deal with. And I'll just tell you this, brother. When it comes to money, and this is another thing, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan says that you should not, and we should not be a whore for money. So when you're dealing with people like that who call themselves Muslim, just like people will call themselves a Christian, but they will bend the rules because they feel like money is their God. They'll say God with their mouth, but they'll show God with their money. God meaning G.O.D, gold, oil, and drugs. Okay? That's their God. Gold, oil, and drugs. That's their God. So again, but with that, there are no perfect believers. There is a perfect teaching, possibly. There's a perfect belief in God and how we believe in God. There's one God. Of course, that can be perfect. But the people who believe may not be perfect. So I don't judge all of Islam based off of that, just like I don't judge all of Christianity based off a few people who call themselves Christians and do crazy stuff. But in Dubai, because there are so many millionaires, money has become their God. And so they don't think, some people really think they can buy their way into heaven, brother. The rich man who was in the Bible, he was trying to buy his way into heaven, and he died with all of his wealth. So it's like, be careful, man. Money shouldn't be your God. And I hear people holding their breath.
Because we living in a different day and time. We live in a day and time where there's no morals. Like even in hip hop, right? Yes, sir. Like, I can guarantee you right now that we have I can't call him a brother, but there's a dude that hip hop. His name is Tekashi 6ix9ine. It's probably the worst thing we ever had in hip hop, and it's gonna even get worse.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm gonna tell you something. And crime, whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the moral, moral parts of this. I bet you he's going to come home and there's going to be people who stand next to him.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be so disappointed. I'm not going to be disappointed. But because the shift of what's going on has changed.
Yes.
Moral-wise. What do you think of that?
Number one, understand that it's not us who are controlling the origin of the immoral decay. That came from a source as well. The same group, the same system, the same enemy who created and manufactured racism, who creates and perpetuates the division, who creates and perpetuates and manipulates the division, and those who self-perpetuate division, men against women, black against white, etc., etc., the same group who manipulates the music and the film industry. They can't have you coming together. You know how hip-hop used to be? Fight the power, fight the power. They can't have that because it goes into the mind.
Right
of course, you see what I'm saying?
The music industry perverted it.
They have to because that music is hypnotizing, and you are introducing into the subconscious a command to do something that rises above division, rises above the decadence and the decay of this country and of our people. You're talking about fight the power, come together. What? Self-destruction. You headed for self-destruction. You know what I'm talking about? They're like, whoa,
we don't got shit like that.
But I told, this is what I talk about, and we've talked about it several times. I told them that our generation, I feel, is the one that we allowed ourselves to be perverted.
And that's where I was going.
And because of the money that came in the industry, and we stopped being the OGs. Like we decided we're going to be YGs forever. We're going to pop bottles forever.
We wanted to see that shit too.
And see, it has to get back to that. A lot of the young cats now are making more money than y'all would be making at that time. And of course, they 12, 15, 17, got $3 million. They ain't gonna listen to nobody.
And they're like, you guys didn't stop. You guys kept trying to pop. You're still trying.
And to have accountability is the best thing, because a portion of that, yes, is the fault of those who came before us, but it is also the job of you and those who are around you to fix the problem. Because after you were manipulated by the system, the same system is manipulating them, and you ain't doing nothing about it. So you gotta have fearlessness, brothers.
See, you're right. I'm gonna be honest. You're right, but I'm gonna be honest. Me, as an older artist, I don't be liking the school these younger artists because I don't feel they appreciate it.
But you don't have to school them.
See, the
it's
thing
a
about
breakdown of leading by example.
No, but the thing about it is this. We are leading by example.
No, but I'm just saying.
But the thing about it is this. I'm gonna be honest. When I see the older artists, they didn't give me love, right? This is real shit. Like the older artists, because as I came in hip hop, this is just hip hop. I'm not speaking of anywhere else. This is hip hop. At first, I felt like the older artists was looking at us as if y'all taking our stuff. It took them years to be like, you know what, they're allowed to do that. So I automatically think that when I see a young dude, like I see Megan Thee Stallion the other day, right? And I was like, hey man, I was like, how you doing? You know what I mean? And she's a beautiful girl, great girl, you know, whatever. But she gave me this super industry. And I was like, that's cool, because I've done that. I gave this same answer before. I gave this same energy. But it was like, damn, like I wanted to know who Rakim was. I wanted to know who Eric B was. I wanted to know who Big Daddy Kane was. I wanted to know who KRS-One was. Nowadays, they don't give a fuck. They just saying, yo, they just want to make money. There's no art to this.
Because they're making that money, so they don't need the generation, before.
But we were making that money, and we still wanted respect. We still wanted to show respect. And it's like, don't get me wrong, it's just like the little dude from the hood. The younger they get, the less they care. The less they, and it's pretty much the same.
Remember, their money's different.
Like Tekashi is the worst thing that ever happened to us.
Their money comes in a currency of social media.
It's the worst thing.
It's not just cash.
I'll say this, brother. Because I'm only 29.
Okay, I know. I thought you were 27, but
I'm still in this generation, right? If you want them to look up to you, you'll have to go down to them.
That's what I said with the 5%.
The artists will have to be humble now, and I'm talking about the OGs.
Yeah, me too.
Hip hop in the 60s,
let me tell you
70s,
something.
80s.
Let me tell you something. I will. If I know you gonna listen, I will. But if I've got a 2% chance of you not listening, I ain't wasting my breath. I'm not gonna lie. I would rather see them fucking fall on their face.
You know what?
I'm just being honest.
I'm gonna say this to you. That right there, I understand that. Here's the only issue now. This generation doesn't know virtually a damn thing. We are the most ignorant generation.
I believe so.
But we have the greatest and easiest access to information. We can Google anything, but we don't have the guidance as to what the hell we should be Googling.
Easily misinformed through that
easily misinformed, strategically misinformed. But I covered, we won't talk about this, but social media, brother, is a very wicked thing if you don't know how to use it. You don't know how to use it. So by you being more humble than you already are, because you are a humble brother, you know, for you to, first of all, I gotta acknowledge both of you and everybody here. For you to have your brother from the Nation of Islam on Drink Champs.
Yes, goddamn.
That takes some.
Because you know what? I'm sorry, I don't want to be a secret worshiper. Like, I don't want to be a person that admires you from the sideline. Why can't I admire the nation? And I know I'm you know, like I said, I enjoy smoking. But why admire you from a distance when I can say, you know what? You know what? Listen, you know what I'm saying?
That's love,
you know what I'm saying? Because it's to tell you the truth, we need this. Like, we're in a time where we need something positive in our life.
Which is also lacking in hip hop. You're our balance right now.
Yeah, you're our balance. You're giving us. Let's be clear. We ain't just giving. You're giving us a lot too. Because I spoke to my Muslim brother earlier, shout out to TB, and I was like, yo, you know, this is, he's like, yo, what you doing, taking that risk is what got you here in the first place.
That's revolutionary.
You know what I'm saying? Taking that risk is what got us here in the first place. So I love this. And you know, one of the things that I would like to clear up is when people, because I didn't, you're the only person I didn't Google, because I said, you know what, I want to, whatever I don't know about him, I want to learn from him live, organically.
Yes.
But one thing that does happen when you Google the FOI is, or Google sometimes even Islam, is the fact that they'll put this hate Jewish people
of course
on it. So I would like for you to clear that up, or speak on it, or whatever.
Absolutely. Well, the first thing is, we are the true original Jews, the true Hebrews. We are the original people. Let's make that very clear. This is why there's a big difference between a Jew and Jewish. When you say ish, it means a kind of or like so. Okay, number one. So the people who call themselves the Jews today happen to be the Khazars. These are the Ashkenazi people. These are the ones who came from the Caucasus Mountains. These are the ones who were in Poland and all over in Germany, etc. These are the ones who were going and escaping from that area down into Africa, which was allowing them to come to different countries to open it up, but they wanted to go back to the Holy Land, Palestine, and take that from the original people there, inhabit it, call themselves true Jews, kill the true Jews who were there, Palestinian people, and then say that this is our land, etc. They happen to be, and they say we hate Jews and we attack Jews because we speak the truth about who controls the money, who controls the movie and film industry, who controls the music, who controls the media. And the majority of people that do that happen to be Jewish. That's all. They happen to, if they were Mexican Catholic, we will say the Catholics run the movie and film industry. They run all these different things, if that were the truth. But they just happen to be, they just so happen to be. The people who established the Federal Reserve and the Federal Reserve Act, those people who had a meeting off the coast of Georgia on Jekyll Island, David Rockefeller and the boys, happened to be, 1913, happened to be Jewish. So this just speaking the truth, brother, should never come with a label after that. So I'm speaking the truth, so I'm a hater of this. I'm speaking the truth about what a Mexican brother did or a black dude did, so I'm a hater of black people, Mexicans. No, you're sensitive, number one. And two, you don't want the world to know about what the hell you have done or what you continue to do. You own 75% of the slaves in the South. You sponsored the chains and the ships that were owned by you. You were Jewish, including, who was his name? Christopher Columbus, Cristobal Colon. He was Spanish and Jewish. They were the ones who helped to initiate this. You're dealing with the truth behind this. That's why we have a book titled The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews 1, 2, and 3. You get that at N.O.R.E.org. And that only is chronicling the words of Jewish rabbis, Jewish leaders. And those are their words, talking about what they have done, their people have done to black people all over the world. So it's not us saying we hate Jews. No, it's just tell the truth about what you have done to our people, and because we've done some negative things to our own people. So let's not get it twisted. But if I speak the truth about black people, I'm not going to be called anti-black. If I speak the truth about Jewish people, I'm anti-Semitic. A Semite is a black person who speaks Ugaritic, who speaks Ge'ez, who speaks Ethiopic, who speaks Hebrew. Black folk. So I'm not anti myself. Knock off the lie. Like, chill out. Stop. Okay, the whole world is tired of nonsense, and they have literally cornered the whole planet, and everybody's anti-Semitic because we speak the truth. But you own everything. Right. So how is it that I am bad when you own this stuff? And if anybody says anything about what Jewish people do, all of a sudden you're blackballed. Your career's gone. Right. You can't speak nowhere. You can't get a job nowhere. That sounds like control to me. Right. You got control. So I'm just saying. So we don't hate Jewish people, we don't hate anybody, but we speak the truth about what everyone does, including black people.
God damn, make some noise for that. God damn. Now this is something that was kind of crazy. The guy that owned Chick-fil-A, he publicly came out and said that, like, he was like he didn't want to serve gay people. He didn't want gay people working for him.
Oh, before we go to that point, okay, we were talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yes,
I was talking about that. Yeah, because
and we'll get back to Chick-fil-A.
Yes,
no problem.
I won't forget that. I just thought about that. Like,
no problem. Let's get on Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Let's go together. It was something very important when you were talking about. If you feel like there's 2% of anything going on where they're not gonna listen to you, if you feel even a little bit of that, then you just will rather see them fall. You ain't got to say a damn word to them, right? That's how you feel it. Yep. I understand that. I will say this. I encourage you, brother, and all other artists who are OGs, from my brother Rakim to Nas to all of them, to have a little more patience with this generation.
Yeah, it's hard.
We do not have another option, bro.
Wow.
We need you. I'm saying this. We need you, bro.
It's hard.
It's hard as hell for you to deal with it because you put in the work so that these young artists can get to where they at now. Yep. They didn't have no deals like this back then in such a short period of time. Yep. The amount of money they're being given, it's like, well, they are getting what you worked hard to get, and now they're getting it without doing virtually anything. There's no creativity. There's no art. There's nothing. It's just
and it also creates arrogance.
And it creates arrogance and arrogance due to ignorance and due to people co-signing your BS. I'm saying this out of love, man. Because this generation, I'll be damned if we go to the next generation, we ain't got no doctors, we have no lawyers, we have nobody to build a nation, we rely on everybody else. I can't complain about some other group of people if my own people are not doing what needs to be done so that we can build our own nation for ourselves, bro. Wow. I'm tired of this nonsense. We can't be stupid and dumb and just ignorant. We know everything about music and sports. No offense to music and sports, but we know everything about that. Most of us don't even know the capital of the city we living in. Most of us don't even know our mama's middle name. And it's like, come on, man. So we need guidance, is what I'm saying, bro.
Kansas City.
Kansas City. Yeah, Donald Trump. See, wow, man. He's a special one, man. He's a special one.
Okay, going back to Chick-fil-A.
So I was just saying, so we need the guidance. That's all I'm saying. Be a little more patient if you can, and really go to the ones who are willing to hear you. Because you'd be surprised who looks up to you, brother. You gotta
can't figure it out.
Reach out to them.
I'm just being honest. Like I'll go to like a younger artist, and the crazy thing, like here's the crazy thing. I seen G-Eazy at Puff's house. I seen G-Eazy at Khaled and Puff's party in there, and I seen G-Eazy recently at a club with Migos. Right? He asked us to get on Drink Champs. He walked by me 3 times. The 3 times I seen them, and that lets me know, like, damn, y'all not really paying attention at all. No. Like, you calling through your peoples, which let me know that it might not even be you. It might be your peoples. But that's just to let you know the difference. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew who Vanilla Ice was. Like, I knew who the fuck Third Base was. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and I would show love. Let's Nikko there. God damn it, come on, let's take a break in like 10 minutes and bring him in. Come on. But so that's the difference. And the difference is with me is, like, I knew how arrogant I was at that age. But the difference between me, I see Melly Mel, I bowed down. Come on. And I didn't care if Melly Mel showed me that love back. I seen KRS, I bowed down. I didn't, like, and I think everybody from the 90s was like that. I think that's why the music was so pure in the 90s, is because we didn't care about giving that respect.
But sometimes, to the point you're making, sometimes I feel like some artists who are of our generation, they want to dumb themselves down. They want to be, what's the word I'm looking for?
Accepted.
Relevant to a certain age group. And I feel like the youth, they're going to be the youth no matter what. They're going to go. They're going to evolve. But in the end, they're going to respect consistency from the elders. And that's what's going to reign supreme in the end.
The key to that is beautiful? Collaboration.
You know how I learned how to ride a bike? Was falling.
Same.
That's how I learned how to ride a bike. Like when I rode the bike, it didn't matter that I rode the bike. It mattered when I fell, because I remember falling. So the next time I got on that bike, I did whatever I had to do not to fall. So I ain't gonna lie. So a part of me be like, "Fuck you, little nigga." Like, you know what I'm saying? A part of me does say that. Like when I reach out and I'll say something, and then the other thing is the people who wants to mess with us, or the young people who want to mess with us, because we only interview people that's 10 years or more, because because
for the most part. You saying 10 years old?
10 years in the rap
career, track record.
Because we don't want to interview new people, not because we racist towards the new people, but we are, because you know why? We want to have experience. The thing is, every time you got 10 years in this game or more, they kick you out. And in jazz, it's not like that. In rock and roll, it's not like that. They call you seasoned. They'll say you're a legend, but here they say you washed up. Do you know that word washed up doesn't exist in no other culture but ours?
Wow, that's interesting. You know what? All right, and I can see that. I understand that. And for you to have that standard, when you say the wash up and all, but you have that standard of the 10 years or more, I can understand that.
Yeah, we want to honor our people.
Of course, but I will say it as a cautionary word of advice, brother. This generation, if you showed the example by snatching up an artist who's been in the game 5-6 years.
No, we did OT Genesis. We did a couple of people that just knew.
And if you, just for you personally, reach out randomly to certain ones, which I'm sure you've done before.
Yeah, I have. I speak to Dave East, OT Genesis. There's certain ones that I know go listen to me.
And really vibe with them, and and don't even go there to say anything that they would consider to be, oh, that's my uncle talking. Right. Or that's really just give them game. How you doing, bro? I like what you're doing, bro. Right. I like what you're doing. Right. Just drop love, just genuine love, bro, because believe it or not, they're being manipulated. Right. This system manipulating the hell out of their emotions, brother, and they're ignorant. They don't know what's going on. You gave me money. My parents wasn't with me. I came up from the slums. I don't know who to trust over here. Right. This person saying that they vibe with me and they cool with me and they love me, but then they stab me in the back. Right. So, and they called themselves an OG. I thought he was an OG. I thought he was a real one. See, you're dealing with pain, brother. You're dealing with a traumatic system that we all are a part of. So if you look at it from that perspective, saying these brothers have a lot of misunderstanding, they have a lot of trauma, they have all this, you have to look at it through the lens of love and look at them as a younger you. Right. For real, more than you look at yourself. We have to love, as Minister Farrakhan says, we must love our people more than they hate themselves. So look at it deep, bro, and just say, I'm not here to say nothing to you other than I appreciate the work you're doing, little homie, young brother. I'm here for you. Call me Unc. I do. Shake your hand.
I like Rowdy Rich. I like.
And collab more with them.
The thing about it is this: I like their music. I just don't like them.
I understand.
And I don't mean to say it like that. I'm just saying,
like their attitude,
like their attitude. I'm really into just going on the internet and building information. When I look at most of the young brothers and they're being asked a question, they say, well, what's your favorite color? And the guy goes, red. And he goes, so what's your favorite shoes? He goes, Nike. And they answering these one-word answers. That's the most disrespectful you can actually be.
What you're saying is absolutely correct. Think about it this way. They are a product of the environment that they're in. This damn environment is one of the most ignorant environments on the planet. You want them to be conscious and aware and respectful. They don't know what consciousness or respect is. They don't know. So you get mad at them, they're like, nigga, stop getting mad. I'm mad at you. So you're like, what the heck is going on?
This ain't gonna get me likes.
No, you're a product of an ignorant
What's the dude that he was sipping lean and he fell asleep on some show. I forgot. Who? Pool Game. All right, cool. Well, I tried to reach out to his management. On No Jumper, I think. On No Jumper, he was sitting there and he just started leaning. Man, listen, man. I don't know if I ever said this. I don't know if I ever said it, but I'm not ashamed. At one point, my father was on heroin. You know what I'm saying? This is my father. I never said this. And that was the most disturbing I've ever seen. When I seen my father nodding off, and it was traumatizing as me, as a child. So when I see anybody do that shit, I'd be so mad at them. But him, I'm like, he's a fellow, because we're like a fraternity, hip hop. So I said, I wanted to reach out. They didn't. I don't know if I had the right people now, because sometimes someone will say, it's just management. So I didn't know I had the right people. But the fact is, that turned me off too, because I was just like, Not like I'm important like that, but when I call a person, when I call Jay-Z, he calls me back.
Of course.
I call Nas, he calls me back. I call Puff, he calls me back. I call 50, he calls me back. I call Kanye, Kanye didn't call me back. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me get I went too far. Stop that Kanye. He did not call me back. I'm gonna be honest. He's still waiting for him to call me back. He just makes some noise with that. That's to bring up your point.
You bringing up a strong point, brother.
It's like, so if I got the respect of peers that's even older than me, and I kind of thrown off when a person who should show me respect doesn't show that respect, and it's just like I was so turned off by it that I'll just give up. Like I won't even try anymore. You know what I'm saying? I won't try anymore. And it's not because I'm a quitter, because I'm definitely not a quitter. No. But I don't like to waste my breath. Like if I'm gonna talk to you like Twin, where's Twin? Twin is here? Yeah. Twin is back there? Like I that's my brother, like, you know, but I was mad at my brother the other day, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, yo, but if I'm talking and I tell him, I say, yo, listen, man, I can't go through this hurt that I went through. Again, he lost his brother, you know what I mean? God bless, rest in peace, Twin. Yes, we all know that. And for me to see my man nodding out or, you know, whatever, I got mad at Twin. I was like, yo, Twin, man, I can't go through this hurt again. But I feel like Twin is listening to me now. You know what I'm saying? I felt like he wasn't at one point. But, because that shit hurts. You know what I'm saying? That shit hurts when you sit down.
It reminds you
and it reminds me of my father.
And when it goes through that, then it trickles down to anybody doing the same action is going to remind you of Pops. And that's something that people need to understand when you're doing things that you don't realize hurt other people. When it comes to John Gabbana, brother who calls himself Boonk, but he calls himself John Gabbana now, you know, changed his whole life around, right? The brother has made a complete 180. You know, he's doing a lot of beautiful stuff. You see the way he's talking, people was like, is that him? That's Boonk. I mean, like, I said, okay. So he off the stuff that he was on, but I'll say this, brother, one, the OGs being blocked in the industry from the young artists, that's strategic.
That's strategic.
The people
Master
who are
P said that. Remember Master P said that?
The people who are in their entourage do not want no hip-hop mind to be in this generation. What would that do? That's revolution overnight. They don't want nobody talking about no hip-hop, nothing. They don't want no conscious rap. They don't want none of that. So they will block you, anybody in the generation that they know they are already out of control of. They don't have control of these certain people. They don't want no Nas to get in contact with most of these young brothers. They don't want you specifically, especially after this. They don't want you to get in contact with these young brothers because they know you will change their mind into where this enemy is pushing their mind to go. They're using them for an overall agenda that is much bigger than any one of us.
And you know why you're right?
So we understand that.
You know why he's right? The artist development doesn't even exist anymore.
Wow, I didn't know that, but now you just
artist development. Like, you know, back in the days, they used to try to tell you, like, yo, you get your money, you do this, you do that. That department doesn't exist in the record label. Period. So that means to tell you, they're purposely taking a young black man or a young Latino, giving you all the money in the world and saying, you figure it out. And then the thing about
and they're making artists feel like they're independent now.
But
when they're not.
Definitely not independent.
No, they'll give you all the cars, clothes, and females. And they think that's independence. They think I made it, and that keeps them distracted. See, the main thing is they're not going to know about investing. They're not going to talk about buying up land and property and real estate. They're not going to talk about that. They're not going to talk about, oh, let me see, you can own this, flip this, boom, let all that make money for you outside of your contract so that when they kick out your contract, you become a millionaire. They don't want you to know this. That's freedom. So when you talk to them, you and others who are in this generation in the hip-hop world will educate them about things like that. What did Jay-Z say? He said credit. Credit. He said that's gangster. Credit. He said flipping property. That's gangster. See, when you're talking about real artists dropping all that information, that goes against this system.
That's my favorite Jay-Z album, 444.
Man, if all the black artists came together right now and decided, listen, we're going to buy up all of the properties in the inner city neighborhoods within, I don't know, Compton, Philly, you know, New York, the boroughs, all that. We're going to turn them all over, make them into community restoration programs, buy up the land, create farms, create housing for those who need it, all these different things, schools, banks. We would come into freedom.
Reverse gentrification.
Overnight. Reverse gentrification. Brother, we can do that. Just that watch that Floyd Mayweather had on his wrist that was $18 million.
Well, he came here with a $2 million watch. He came here. He sat in that same chair.
See, right? Yes. See what I'm saying? Also, Brother Floyd sat in?
Yeah, he sat in the same chair. Same exact chair.
$18 million watch. It costs at least $1 million to create a bank. So with that watch, just with that money that he could just donate to the movement, we can create 18 black-owned banks and give out small loans to small-owned black-owned businesses, and we can come out of economic slavery overnight. Or $150,000 to create a credit union. So you can create over 50 credit unions in different strategic areas within the inner-city communities of America and black and brown impoverished communities, and we can come into economic slavery overnight. They don't want that.
Wow.
That's how the game is. Jewish people got it. Chinese folk got it. Italians got it. Little China, Little Armenia. Jewish districts in every major town.
There ain't no little Africa. Ain't no little black Africa.
Ain't no little black nothing. Nah, little Ethiopia. They don't
They fight for their existence.
Come on, brother. They don't want you to have yours.
Little Haiti's real though.
Nah, they fight for their existence though.
What's that? The Zoles, right?
Yeah,
the Zoles, man. That's our brothers. So the point is, that's why the hip hop game is so on the
We in Little Haiti basically right now.
I got one word because I know Rizza's gonna take it there. I'm gonna say one word and then I'm gonna let him go.
Yes, sir.
Haiti. Let's
Oh,
say
yeah.
Haiti.
See that alley-oop?
Okay.
I'm gonna dunk that. Okay. 1804, brother. You're dealing with Toussaint Louverture. You're dealing with Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Please stop. Boukman. You're dealing with all of the revolutionary African brothers who established the first republic in Africa, the first free nation of African people who kicked the Europeans out. And they said, stay the hell out. We're not gonna bow down to your form of government. We ain't bowing down to your religion. We ain't bowing down to nothing you got. To this day, Haiti is not loved by America, just like Nigeria and other countries as well. So when you're dealing with the Haitian brothers and sisters, understand you're dealing with a spirit that is ancient, brother, warrior spirit. When you come to America, you're dealing with the Negroes who were broken to a degree, mostly in the South. In the West Coast, you're dealing with the great descendants of the slaves who could not be broken because we escaped from the South to the North. You see what I'm saying? That's why the West Coast is a different field. Even in the East Coast of boroughs, New York too, we all brothers. Squad up, North, South, East, West. Ain't no coast banging. Okay, so
there's no coast
but I'm just saying, when you're dealing with Haiti, when you're dealing with Nigeria, when you're dealing with certain countries in Africa and in the islands, you're dealing with a warrior spirit because those were stops before we were completely destroyed here and made into Negroes through a 64-year process between 1555 and I believe 1619. They say we were here in 1619, first established. No, that was when the first Negroes were made because we were broken. We landed here in 1555 on a ship called the Good Ship Jesus. And we were broken. We were fighting like hell against the colonizers. We was beating them up. We didn't speak English. We didn't speak Spanish. We spoke Arabic, so we didn't know what the hell y'all was talking about. But you put chains on us. You're trying to rape my daughter. You're trying to rape my sister, my mother. Who the hell are you? What you doing? We fighting people for 64 years. That's why they had a show called The $64 Million Question, The $64 Million Man. All these different things to hide the fact that they were fighting against us. So Haiti was fighting and they won. We were also fighting here, but they don't want you to know about that because if you did, you would realize, oh, we fought and we won, which means what? We can do it again. So they don't want you to know your past because if you know your past, you will be able to successfully step into your future. We are taught in Nation of Islam that history is most attractive and best qualified to reward one's research. The most intelligent people study their history.
And being that we just had the Super Bowl.
Y'all clap.
Being that we just had the Super Bowl here, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this history, the Seminole Nation was combined slaves that revolted with runaway Indians that were from the Long Walk or whatever I'm saying it wrong completely. The Trail of Tears.
Yes.
And they came and they fought in Florida and they're the only nation to not be defeated.
Yes.
And that is slaves and Native Americans together.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the Seminole Nation, which is also Miccosukee, which is they're the same people.
Yes.
Hard Rock too.
So that's what I'm saying. The Hard Rock, everything that.
Noble?
Huh?
Oh no, that's Montezsuku.
So there's a lot of history there.
I'm gonna say this, and this band is what was given to me by the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, the Lakota Nation, when I went and stood with them in Standing Rock, North Dakota, against the pipeline. We were fighting against that pipeline, which Donald Trump has an investment in that. And we were fighting against it because they were pushing bulldozers through native burial grounds. And they were telling them, this is our water. And if you dig under here and you run a pipeline of oil under here, it's going to damage our water. We drink this water. We bathe in this water. And what happened? They kept fighting. We were fighting and fighting. They left. We thought we had defeated them. So I went back to the West Coast, etc. People went back home. Next thing you know, boom, they came back. They drilled, put the pipeline down. And yes, the oil infected the water. You see, so I just want to say that because we're talking about our native brothers. So the black and the red are united.
Queen
We are family. That's my sis. Queen Yonaj, that lone wolf, that's my sis right there. Yes.
So one thing that hit me, right, when President what's his name? Clinton.
Yes.
Was in office. One of the places I used to love to go to was Little Rock, Arkansas. I didn't know why, right? I didn't know why. I just loved looking at Little Rock, Arkansas. Every time I go there, like the gangbangers was just.
I was thinking DJ Quick. He mentions it in the song. It was like Compton.
Well, they would go and just protect me. Like I'll go to the city. I swear to God. Like and under Clinton's regime,
yes,
Little Rock became like the worst, right? And I had never thought that I'd see something like that. That I have under Barack Obama regime, Chicago has somewhat acted like one of the worst places in America.
This is true.
Meanwhile, Chicago downtown is still the safest place in America.
Come on.
So I had never understood that. I need to understand that, or is it no way to understand that?
Oh no, there's always a way to understand it, brother. The first thing you want to look at is the money. Look at the money. Look at the motive behind the money and who is controlling the money.
But hold on, because why wouldn't Barack, while he was in office, control his own city? Like, meaning, make it safe. Because at least he could say, I mean, was that not weird?
That's a logical question.
You know what I mean?
No, your question is 100% logical. The only issue is the president doesn't run anything. And that's what people don't know. When you're talking about politics, first of all, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad says the word politic means multiple bloodsuckers. Number one. Which is why they don't really do much for their people. Number two, Barack Hussein Obama, we are taught, according to the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, that he was selected before he was elected. They selected him to do certain things because they wanted a black face to be the one behind certain atrocities that would be committed, not only in America, but outside of America as well.
He should have legalized marijuana. This is the point.
He did smoke.
The drum program was crazy under Obama.
Exactly. And what people really have to understand, like my major in college was political science, but my political science teacher told us straight up first day in class, if you believe anything about politics, just know everything that you think you know is a lie. That's how he started the class.
Wow.
Compton College. And I was like, well, dang. He said, number one. Number two, the president does not control anything. He is a figurehead. He is a puppet. He is a post turtle. He is the person who's out there with smoke and mirrors. But there is a government behind him called a shadow government, which is what Minister Farrakhan calls it. It is the government behind the government that controls all of the movement of that government.
Those names that you named earlier.
Yes, all of the international banking family. So Barack could not do that. If he would have stepped out and changed the condition of Chicago, something would have happened to Barack. An assassination, a poisoning. This happened to the president. Why? The city that he came from, where he was a community organizer in Chicago, by the way, he came to Minister Farrakhan. Not when he was president.
No, prior to his
president. You know, right? He came to Minister Farrakhan when he was a community organizer when he wanted to run for the Senate. And Minister Farrakhan organized the brothers F.O.I and the sisters, the MGT, and told them we should go ahead and get our brother elected. In the Nation of Islam, a lot of us helped to elect our brother. Why? Because first of all, he's a black man, and so we said, fine, let's go ahead and elect him. Let's get our brother elected.
He denounced it once again.
And he was forced to, right? Okay. But because we sincerely, we want one of our own to be in office, right? We want one of our own to be in office. Now, people will try to criticize that later on. We don't really care. Just go ahead and keep talking. But that's what he did to get him elected to the Senate. Now, when he became a president, people need to understand, when you become president, there's an entire strategy set up long before you get in office. Okay, you have to know about the actual, first of all, you need to know about the electoral colleges. Because we as a people don't elect the president. This government doesn't believe we are intelligent enough to govern ourselves. So why the hell would they give us the power to elect somebody that would govern us and them?
So you're saying the voting system has never been a voting system?
Man. Oh, it's completely broken. No, it's not. It's not entirely real. That's why people say, well, your ancestors died for you to vote. No, my ancestors did not die to put another devil in office. Right. Don't ever make me, don't spit on them like that. Right. Okay, they died because of a semblance of freedom that they thought would be a process to bring us into freedom. Right. They were ignorant of the fact. Right. So their intention was good, but the reality was different. And so today, same thing with Barack Obama. He could not do what would have benefited black people. He couldn't. And the other part of that is, yes, we were unorganized as well. Because when you're dealing with politics and politicians, it ain't the vote, it's the money that controls them. So if you would have come together, we black people would have come together with an agenda, 10 points, 12 points, etc., and said, Mr. Obama, we have $5 million for you for your campaign if you go ahead and meet these obligations here on our agenda, this $5 million, if you go ahead and push this agenda for us. That would have changed the condition. Why? Mexicans did it. Jewish people do it. The LGBT did it, which is why they were able to get more rights and more laws passed for them than black people got passed in 400 years. They got more passed in 40.
The LGBT, they saying this is LGBT month. I thought it was Black History Month.
Well, this is Black History Month, but the LGBT, they have...
We got the share month.
It's crazy. They're trying to make it...
What do you mean? This is LGBT month?
I didn't hear nothing about Black History Month this month.
Oh, no, this is Black History Month, but they're trying to, again, and even behind the LGBT movement, it's not lesbian, gay, bisexual people, all of them in the movement who are behind this. Again, the same people who are behind the music and film industry, who are behind the money system, they are behind that movement as well. And all of that has an agenda, which is depopulation. We'll get into that later on. But the main thing, we're going to go on that. But the main thing is that we had to put an agenda together and put money up so that Barack Obama could carry out what it is that we wanted to be done, and we did not do that. So he was being used the same way a president will always be used. But because he was a black man, they did some of the worst and horrific things under his regime and under his authority, because they would then be able to say, see, we let y'all get in office, look what your man did. Yeah. Look what he did. See, and then we think, damn, see, niggas can't do nothing right. It was a trick, it was a strategy, and we fell right into it. So now people are saying Donald Trump is better than Barack Obama. It's like, can you stop? It's the same seat of Pharaoh. This is Pharaoh's seat. This is the modern Rome, modern Babylon, modern Egypt. Same seat, different person. Stop getting it twisted. You looking at a person thinking he runs the entire government of the United States? You are not being not even slightly logical. Not even slightly. Donald Trump don't even run the whole government. He just happens to be a president that was put in there who was one of the most crazy as hell people who they could do some of the worst things, and he would love to do it because he's like, I don't give a damn.
Yeah, he don't give a
I'm an open racist. I don't give a damn about none of y'all, and I'm just going to speak my mind. You see? That was the facts on that.
One thing that you totally blew my mind and totally put me on to, because like I said, I follow you on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
And you and my brother Mike Son.
Shout out Mike Son.
My brother, shout out.
Yeah, that's my bro.
Yes, sir.
But sex trafficking, I had no idea.
Yes, sir.
Domestic?
Oh yes.
It was. You was in Atlanta, right?
That was in Atlanta.
That was in Atlanta.
Like,
I was like blown because I live in my own world. We all kind of live in our own world.
Yeah, it's hard. You busy. You got a lot going on.
And I was like, I didn't know. Like I completely did not even know that type of things happen.
Yes.
And then this thing happened in the Bronx.
Which ended up being false.
Which
is kind of like takes you thinking that sex trafficking doesn't exist.
So it kind of changed the narrative, but then I see
something that was fake.
Right. Because they're like, oh, so then this other stuff is
because that story was bigger than the actual sex trafficking. The
Yeah.
story of the faking that part. And then, like I said, I keep
set that up too.
I keep following you. So, and I realized that this didn't stop after that. Like this is so that I was oblivious to this.
Yes,
like
sir.
I did not know. Like I literally was scared. Like watching this thing. What the hell is going on with sex trafficking?
I'll say this, man, and this is why those who are the celebrities, the blue
and
check
in Atlanta at that,
in Atlanta, man,
where there's tons of thousands of strippers already.
See, and that's the other thing, because the sex trafficking game, they use the strip clubs as well to get people into sex trafficking. That's another avenue, right? It's a whole strategic.
So can you break it down? What are they doing? They kidnapping the girls?
They are
drugging them,
getting them on drugs,
drugging them, kidnapping them. They are going on to social media, looking at girls who are complaining about not liking their parents, not wanting to be home, etc. And they tell them, oh yeah, you come over here, boom, boom, boom. Right? They pop up on girls at bus stops. They pop up on girls after work. They pop up on them going to school. Wherever they are, they will pop up on them. And the strip clubs are being used as hubs for sex trafficking as well. You there with half your clothes on.
Here's what hurts.
Oh, go ahead.
Because when I think of Atlanta, I don't think of anybody other than our own people.
Yes, because that's where we are now. See, think about this.
And these are black people.
Black people, brother. And it's black men who are helping to sex traffic black women.
So would this be in the same category as pimping, though? The same category?
Say it again?
Same category as pimping.
Oh, it's worse than pimping.
No, it's worse than pimping.
Worse than
drugging them unwillingly, right?
Yeah, drugging them unwillingly, some willingly. But I just say this with, like, let's just say for strippers, because a lot of sisters in Atlanta are strippers, as you said, a lot of strip clubs.
And go to college, too.
And go to college, of course. And they got children. They do what they do. They do all right there.
And they're respectful strippers. The most respectful strippers I know is in Atlanta. They really go home. And they're not hoes. They just get naked. That's it. Okay, continue.
So they go there And they're working, making the money that they make. But then you have these dudes who come in there, get a dance, etc., and give them a proposition. Hey, I could pay you, a couple grand, a little more, do some extra. And they get them in the game that way. Some of them go willingly. Some because they're like, well, I can make a couple grand more. I got a little, I got my little baby, my son, my daughter, my two daughters, my two sons. I need more money. Their father ain't here. Whatever's going on. And so they're manipulating the emotions and the circumstance and the conditions of our sisters. That's happening all across the country, not just Atlanta, but Atlanta as a hub, because now it is a large percentage of black people there. So they're doing it through the strip clubs. They're doing it at school. They're doing it at work, after work, before school. All these areas. And again, this is why we teach in the Nation of Islam. Bro, I'm going to say this, man. The penalty is death for messing with our women. Okay, this is just plain and simple. Whether if you black or white and you're doing it to our sisters, that's the penalty. That's how we're taught. That's how we were originally before we were manipulated and made into niggas. That's how it was. You can't go and mess around with no nation of people and mess around with a woman and something gonna happen to you. Try to go kidnap a Chinese woman from a Chinese man's house and see if the Chinese don't show up to your house. Go try to kidnap a Russian woman from a Russian man's house and see what happened to you. They're gonna get at you, and they ain't not gonna wait on the white man's law, his court, call the police. What that ain't gonna happen. They gonna show up right there, find out where you are. Where's my sister? Where's my daughter? What you doing? But with us, what happens? Not only do we not stand up, but we participate. It's a very despicable condition that we've been broken into.
Did you see that footage of the guy on the New York City subway?
Yes. Light-skinned dude tried to kidnap the girl, and he was wearing an all-red jumpsuit. But he later on came out and said, I was trying to protect her. She said that the guy sleeping next to her was a pimp.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe him or I don't believe him. I don't know.
I'll just say this. I don't know all the facts about that. Yeah. However, the circumstances you saw in the video happens all the time. That's the fact.
The way he tried to
grabbed her and just walking down the street happens all the time.
But do you believe in street justice? Because you see the brothers did beat him up, and I kind of felt better. Am I wrong for feeling better to see him get beat up?
I believe in God's law. I believe in God's law. What is God's law? What is Moses came, right? That we supposed to agree on this. An eye for an eye. Tooth for a tooth. Life for a life. Now some people are like, oh, you a Muslim, you supposed to see, that's the sickness about religious dogma and the misunderstanding. We black men. You're not gonna touch my daughter, bro. Islam permits me to do what I'm gonna do. So does Christianity. None of the prophets were punks. Don't ever get it twisted. You are not gonna do nothing to my daughter and not get a response from me. No nation of people allows their women to be mistreated, manipulated, raped, drugged, and killed, and they not do something about it except for us. We have to get back who we are. We have to get back to our respect and our respectful place as black men on the planet, not just in America. People need to see us and know, you know what, we ain't gonna mess with a woman. But we have to demonstrate it by showing the example of that. If you call her a bitch and then you turn around and somebody does her and treats her like one, you can't get mad at them. Because you created the circumstance. And this is for all of us. We gotta be sober. I'm 29, bro. I'm not about to allow this to continue because I wanna have children one day. And I'll be damned if some dude calls my daughter that and not get checked. But then again, if I'm out there doing it, I can't say nothing to him. So we have to look at it and take accountability. You see what I'm saying? That's all. It's a sobering message when it comes to that, bro. But we have to return back to our rightful place as the original men of the planet, the gods of the universe. God simply means one who has force and power. Gomer Oz-Dabar, strength, wisdom, and beauty. It just means those who take control, who have control. Ye are all gods, children of the Most High God. We have power and authority. When we exercise it, we simply exercise it in the wrong direction. We exercise it in the wrong way. We kill one another when we both being killed by the same enemy. So we have to change our mind and get back to who we were. That's all we need to do, because the whole world is looking at us crazy. 75,000+ black women are missing in America right now. Who the hell? How? Who? Where? See, it should not be no number like that. Real. 7 black women missing is too much. 75,000? That should tell you, it should tell me that we have allowed us to go into a condition so low to where if she being beat on the street, you just sitting there watching, oh, that ain't my daughter, that ain't my female. Who the hell are you? So if we get killed, we can't blame the white man no more because we have become him. We are walking around as black, white men in black skin. It's a hard pill to swallow, man, but we got to hear it now. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has been teaching this for a long time. He is 86 now, and he is leaving all of us here to do this job. We can't put it all on him no more. I got 7 sisters, bro, and I'll kill concrete for them, and I'll go to jail willingly. I will walk straight up to the police station. Yes, I killed the dude. He raped my sister. Oh, well, thank you for turning yourself in. See, but guess what? Funny thing is, a white man doesn't do that. He will take care of business. Right. See, his law is not God's law. God's law says an eye for an eye. Justice, like you said, street justice, of course I agree with that. If it's for a righteous purpose, of course. Of course. But I also want to make sure we do the same thing to the police when they shoot us down too. Don't sit there and just swing it on your brother just because you want to take out your anger on him because you know he ain't going to blast back because he ain't got his whole squad of police right on the radio. No, if the police do that to you and they do that to us and they do that to our women when they attack us for no reason, when we're just being a good person walking down the street and they invoke this inhumane law of the jungle, they are no longer operating as police officers. They are operating as domestic terrorists under Title 18, subsection 5 of the United States Code. They are violating their own law. They no longer are police officers when they act outside of the law of justice, and we need to treat them as that, which is why we need to learn about the laws and place them under citizens' arrest. If they kill one of us, the whole damn city should stop.
And that's another thing that I noticed under Barack's regime was the killing of.
Yes.
Like it almost seemed like it started the killing of innocent black people, like young innocent black people under his regime.
Michael Brown,
like,
Trayvon Martin.
And again, I'm an Obama fan, but I have to point out what I see.
It has to be criticized.
Do you think that was strategic as well?
All of it.
Okay.
All of it. See, when you want a people to turn against themselves, you have someone who looks like you to do evil things against their own people. So then it makes you lose trust in your own people, lose faith in your own people. You don't want to protect a black man. Why? Because, niggas ain't shit. Niggas don't do nothing right. They don't take care of themselves. They don't take care of their women. These niggas, they terrible. They whack. Why should I care about them? So Obama, them putting that whole plan under him and carrying out all those negative actions under him helped their agenda because now it lessened the love for black men, lessened the trust for black men, lessened all of this.
Do you think, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do you think he should have enforced the laws a little more, like as far as if you kill somebody that don't got a gun, you should go to jail forever?
Absolutely. But then again, remember,
they didn't have the power to do it.
He doesn't have the power. He none. And I know it's crazy because what we're taught is the president has some power.
I don't think Trump has the power, but Trump was sending drones.
Well, that's the difference. Trump
don't give a fit of it up.
No, Trump has an army of over 80 million loyal
rhetorical
followers.
Power.
Yeah, he has power outside of him being the president. Yeah. He has over 80 million loyal people who follow him, not the presidency, him. And they even said on national television, if anybody touches him, we will take down this country. White folks with guns, they ready. Yeah, they've been waiting on the Great White Hope. Yeah, they don't give a damn. They love them some Trump.
I seen footage of the guy said, if they impeach him and they take him out, my 357 says, or something.
He said my 357 says he won't be impeached.
Yeah. He won't be impeached.
I said they some gangsters, man.
Yeah, that's gangster.
They ride for their man. Yeah. We need to be the same way.
How powerful? I'm sorry, keep bouncing. How powerful would every gang, like a Bloods, the Crips, and if we all got together as a nation, and then the rappers, and then you know what I mean? Again, just under peace,
all in the same gang.
How powerful would we be?
It will be overnight, brother. Right. It takes time, but then again, just like the F-13s in the East Coast, when we brought them together, and other groups and other gangs we have been working on. See, the nation, brother, we work on preventive maintenance. We're in the community every single day.
Right.
Every day. Preventing wars, preventing murder, preventing bloodshed, preventing rape, preventing kidnappings. We do so much work in the community that is never being seen on no social media. We out there every day risking our lives. Talking about brothers who used to be Bloods, brothers who used to be Crips, sisters who used to be Bloods, sisters who used to be Crips, standing physically in between guns and rival gangs, standing in between the guns and between the police and the gangs, in the street, stopping the bloodshed. We do it all the time, but they don't want us to come together because they know for a fact they can't handle all of us, and they know we're not gonna come together to kill police. That's not what we thinking. We ain't thinking, let's all come together and kill white folks, please. If that was it, there's nothing that white folks can do today to add on to all of the mountain of proof that would justify us killing all white folks. If we wanted to kill you, we would have been. We outnumber you on the planet 11-1. So if we haven't done it yet, that should let you know what kind of spirit we really got. We must be God's people because we ain't turned up on you the way we could.
And we're the most forgiving people on the
planet. The most forgiving. We God's people, clearly. You can kill my brother in front of me, and I don't just want to kill you.
You see,
you gotta have a spirit
Haitian,
that's different.
The Haitian lady that the cop the lady cop killed the guy, and the Haitian lady stood up there and said, "I forgive the cop." I could not believe that, but then I had to realize that, damn, we some forgiving ass fucking.
Yeah, we've been broken, brother. And by the way, just because I look black don't mean I am.
Right.
Just because I look Haitian don't mean I am. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. You're dealing with a mentality, brother. That's why when people were saying the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, well, don't you guys believe the white man is a devil? Well, hold on, let me ask you this question. What do his actions say? See, now people don't want to say, okay, that's what he was talking about at the time. But the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, white skin ain't devil. It's not the skin. Skin is not what is committed. It is the mind of the original Caucasian that has been doing the evils on this planet that has now infected everybody else. So now black people have become devils. You got Asians have become devils. Mexicans have become devils. Islanders have become devils. We've been involved in the same activities that the white man put on us at first. Now we are perpetuating it. We have become him. We have to step out of that mentality. How do you know? Any activity or action that goes towards the destruction, the decadence of your people is clearly not of your people. Stop being involved in any activity that does not go towards the upliftment, the education of your people. Because that ain't got nothing to do with you. You taking on the mentality and the culture of somebody else that never liked you and didn't want you. And by the way, I'm not saying all white people are bad people. However, the good white people need to stand up and check the bad white people. That's the case.
That's real.
If you're
like
so
the good cops. That badge of blue shit. That blue line is horrible.
If you so good, then show it through your actions.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. So it's the mentality that we have to kill, the devil mentality that we must kill within ourselves. It's that white man in here that we got to deal with before we can ever deal with the white man on the outside.
Right. Did we get back on Chick-fil-A or no?
No, we didn't.
We didn't, right? Okay. So
and we covered a lot of topics already, man.
Yeah,
you ain't no joke.
Chick-fil-A was he stood that stance. I think we touched on it a little bit, but and you know, because I have gay brothers, I have gay people that I'm cool with, but why was his stance wrong? If if you can be gay and proud, can he not have the way he wants to?
Like his religious convictions.
He's a Christian man. He doesn't open on Sunday.
Yeah.
If that's how he feels, and he didn't want to hire a gay,
he doesn't hire either.
I believe I don't want to misquote, but I believe that's what it was. I believe he didn't want to hire people of that.
Well, I'll say it this way: white folks have been doing that forever. Let's make that very clear. That's called discrimination. Okay, they've been doing that for a long time. Nobody complains about them, though, right? Very interesting. But when this man says, "I don't want to hire gays or serve gays,"
and he is a white man, correct?
Or a white man, right?
Yeah.
But he's right now. See, think about this. He says because of his morals as a Christian, it prevents him from wanting to serve people who are involved in behavior that goes against God's law and that goes against nature, right? It's the behavior. It's not the person. It's the behavior they're involved in. Okay, I understand you.
Right.
However, you must be willing to deal with the consequences of your decision in this world. This ain't God's world, bro.
Right.
This is worse than Babylon ever was. Worse than Rome.
Because I feel like since he did that, that's when the Popeye sandwich started popping.
Oh, yeah. They jump on it. No, that's true. That's true. They watch it. They watch that, right? So I'll just say it this way. Anyone who has a business has the right to run the business the way they do.
Right.
You just have to be willing to deal with the consequences and repercussions of your decision.
Because this Popeye sandwich ain't a new sandwich.
No, bro.
It's the same sandwich.
You saw me destroy that Popeye sandwich. I dropped all the facts about that. Lord have mercy.
No, I had one the other day. I can't lie. I loved it. Let me just throw that out there. I loved it, but I immediately felt terrible. I immediately felt terrible. I was like, as soon as I finished it, I was like,
I know it is.
I was like, as soon as I finished it, I was like, did I really need to do that? And I just thought I was disappointed in myself. Your Nikko left or no? Oh, come on. But am I correct? Do you think the Popeye sandwich start popping because the people they made it pop because
yeah. When you create a want and a need for something, and when if that was a business move. Don't get it twisted. Chick-fil-A says we don't serve gays. Popeye's like we don't mind.
Yeah,
they're gonna make millions of dollars. So that's a business move. But again, if you choose to discriminate, that's your choice because that's your business. Okay. I'm not gonna say you gay so you can't come to the mosque.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, hold on.
Right.
That's our brother. Like you said, we got family. I got family who's gay.
Right.
So hold on. I don't agree with your behavior because that behavior doesn't produce human beings. I want to have a child. I want children. I can't be with a man if I want children. Right? Just on the basis. No emotion, not judging, but that's just what that is.
Right.
But if somebody decides to choose to run their business, how they do it, then that's how they choose to run their business. And you just should not beg to be in somebody else's kitchen. I'm not gonna force myself in your kitchen because you more than likely gonna make me. You gonna put something in my food.
Like me,
so I'd rather just say, you know what, fine. I'll go to somebody else's business, or I'll make my own.
Yeah, like me, I don't go places where I'm tolerated. I go places where I'm appreciated.
Come on, like
and
Mama
I'm
said,
celebrated.
don't go where you're not wanted.
Exactly. I don't. If a nigga don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with them.
Why we
exactly
begging,
how
man? We need to establish our own. I'm not begging you.
Come on, let's bring Nikko in. You got the chair? That's Nikko. Yes, yeah. So one thing I want to say is, me and this brother right here is living by it, right? Mm-hmm. So many of us say they want to be self-sustained and self-sufficient. Me and EFN, we had a great opportunity. We could have went to Spotify. We could have went to iTunes. We could have went to some private shit. I forgot what the private shit was. They was offering us, and this was money.
Yeah.
And me and him said, you know what? Fuck the money right now. Any one of these dudes, if we go too far, we bring a brother like you on.
They don't cut you. They shut us down.
Yeah, they
Not only shut us down, but they could actually fire us.
Absolutely.
You're smart.
So we wanted to stay. We said, you know what? Fuck it. Let us stay where we own our own shit.
That's right.
And so, for lack of a better word, REVOLT did a great deal with us.
Beautiful.
Tidal did a great deal with us. And Master Pill did a great deal with us. So we stayed with the culture.
Right. Beautiful.
At the time where we could have just said, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
Right? And went straight to the, for lack of a better word, straight to the whites. And been eating Dunkin' Donuts. And we would have probably had Dunkin' Donut commercials and things like that. But we rather had stayed. Right?
Yes, sir.
Is that something that we, not just me and him, but that's something as a culture that we have to continue to do?
Absolutely. I'm going to tell you this. First of all, for you to have the courage to do that demonstrates, first of all, let me shake your hand on that.
Thank you. I appreciate
to let
that.
you know that you are a real brother for doing something like that. To openly say that.
Yeah.
Because that has to be not only seen, but it has to be publicized.
And took a pay cut. And super pay cut.
Oh, of course. But see, again, like you said, it's not all about the money. See, I mean, really, you know what? I put a post up earlier when I said, don't look down on your people just because you have more white slave owners in your bank account than them.
I seen that.
See, don't sit here and think just because you have money that makes you better than your people. Ever. In the street, people know real people. They're looking at you. Yeah, they like your diamonds and rings and all that cool, but they look at exactly who you are and what you do for us. So you said you took a pay cut, a sacrifice. You took a step and said, I'm going to stand with my people. I'm not going to just do whatever needs to be done, just get that bigger bag. See, that takes integrity and that adds to your character, and really that makes you solid with your people. Because like you said, if they want to turn you off, they can turn you off. But that means you are a slave to somebody else. And we're not slaves no more. You see, so everybody else who's watching this, if you are under a contract, I'm not going to encourage you to get out of it. But I'm going to encourage you to get out of it. And I'm going to encourage you to do your own thing, because now it's our time to rise righteously. We ain't got to go off on everybody else. We just establish our own. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for what you've done for me. But right now I think we should part ways because my people need me. And I want to do what's best for the interest of my people.
And it doesn't mean that we didn't negotiate within either. Business is business.
Yeah, business is business. You know, but you want to make sure it does not.
But we knew we were worth more with our people.
That's
and
how, you know what felt right.
You know what the crazy thing is? The worst thing to do in the world is to meet with people who don't know who you are. For you to have to explain who you are sometimes is like Nikko. I'm gonna switch it over to you because you're a great guy. I knew you for years.
But let me say this: what y'all doing is legacy. It's a legacy.
That's revolutionary, bro.
So it's also something that other people can see, other kids can see, and say, "Yo, I want to have ownership. I want to leave a legacy behind. I want, because you can turn this in." Yeah, I don't know if y'all made it an enterprise. Enterprise. Okay, so
we are.
put up over that.
Thank you for that.
But it's good because it guys like myself, guys like other guys that look at y'all and say, man, they did it, I can do it.
It's possible. So with us, this is like our second life, right? And like I remember you being a part of Love and Hip Hop. That was like a second life for you. What made you even do Love and Hip Hop?
That's an interesting question. I was just talking to somebody the other day, and I said, yo, I'm about to pass niggas twice. I'm living my second life. Like, my second life.
Oh, you might be in your third right now, buddy. Yeah, let's go.
But I'm having fun with it. So let me give you a short story, because long story. So I was doing a deal with Akon, right? I had a boy band in L.A., like One Direction.
Big up to Akon. He told me he got he said I got a suite in his city named the N.O.R.E Suite. I'm gonna make you live up to that, brother. I'm gonna make you live up to that.
Let's go.
I'm gonna make you live up to that.
I was talking to Kanye the other day, actually at the Puff Party. And he said, "Yeah, I need to bring you. You need to come to Africa." But anyway,
that's what he promised me as well.
Yeah, so me and Con was doing a deal to this group I had. This is like a boy band, Backstreet, boy band from Sherman Oaks. 4 guys. So we did the deal. The whole deal worked out, everything. And the deal fell through because one of the parents went over my head. Kids were signing my company. She went over my head and kind of like had her lawyer contact their attorney. You know how the game go. Johnny Wright was managing Akon at the time. They respectfully, they've been through that, so they understand if it happened once with mom, it's just gonna mess up the whole situation. So they passed on the deal. But me and Akon are still friends. After that, I spent so much money on this group, moving them around in LA. I said, something gotta happen. So VMA weekend, the first season of Love and Hip Hop, they was out in LA. After they hanging out, doing whatever, hanging out. So me and Mimi, I don't know if you know the story, me and Mimi, we go back years.
Okay.
Before Love and Hip Hop, we go back like 10 years. We was a fling, me and her did our thing, whatever the case is. And at the same time, Stevie was messing with her too. So we was at the Beverly Hills Hotel, the Esquire party. I had the boy band with me, jumping out of trunks, looking like the movie star, I had to look looking like movie star. So we in the lobby, and her manager approached me. I said, Nikko, what's up? I knew her manager, Wendy. And she approached me, Nikko, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. I said, how you doing? She's with the VH1 crew.
And you were dating Mimi?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, wow.
This was years before that.
Okay, go ahead.
Me and her had a fling. So I haven't seen her in about 7 years. Right? I knew this show existed, Love and Hip Hop. It was the first season. But I didn't even know when she said Mimi is coming out the bathroom, hold up. I'm thinking, I don't even know what she's talking about, but I'm still going with it, right? And then when I seen Mimi, I said, oh, Mimi. It's on the show. That's how everything got made for me to be on the show. They invited me to dinner, Boa Steakhouse, blah, blah, blah.
I'm sorry, I gotta cut to the chase, man. It seems like you're saying this is fake.
I don't know if it's fake. No, I wouldn't say it's fake. What I would say is that
you're describing it pretty much that way.
Yeah, no. So what I would say is this is how it started, right? So I was the necessary evil. Let's just put it like that. So when I came on the show, I was the one that they wanted to compete with Stevie. Remember, Stevie had Jocelyn, he had Mimi at the same time. So he was literally the villain at that point. Before I even came on the show, I came on the second season. It was my first season. But then how the storyline played out, me and Mimi were trying to date and really go there, but I knew and she knew that it was a business move at the same time because they needed to have someone to combat him for the second season. And she had nobody, she was just being dogged out by him and Jocelyn, so she had nobody, right? So, and me and her dated prior, years ago, so it made sense. We already had that comfortable relationship, friendly relationship. So that's how I got on the show. So it wasn't fake. It was they seen something that can work. They seen us as friends, and they said, "Yo, he could be a great necessary evil." And I didn't notice at the time, but he could be a great companion to come on the show. We can bring him in. We just need to see how they interact. So that's how me and Mimi got back together.
You and Stevie didn't know each other prior to that?
Yes, we did know each other.
Because I knew y'all for being cool.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why when I synced it, I was like, I'm not sure. If this is rehearsed, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm a fan of Love and Hip Hop, just so you know. And I'm like, damn, I remember back in the day seeing you in one studio and Stevie in another studio. Not like y'all was friends or anything, but y'all was definitely cordial.
We was in the same fabric.
Yeah, y'all was because you worked for Bad Boy as well.
I did some work for them, but I wasn't signed to Bad Boy like Stevie was, right? So, but remember, I was messing with Mimi before Stevie. I was hitting her before Stevie. So Stevie started hitting her too.
I see how you put that.
So Stevie started hitting her too in that process. But you know, still was with his other thing, with his wife or whatever the case is. So that's how that happened. So it wasn't fake. It was just, it made sense. It's like right place, right time. I was the necessary evil. So the show decided to spin it the way it was spun, right?
And did they actually put you and Stevie together, two?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because they are about drama.
Absolutely. Well, it's ratings, you know. So TV is a deception. So everybody should know that TV is a form of deception, right? So if you know how to pay attention to it for what you want to get out of it, comedy, a good storyline,
Here's the $1 million question.
Yeah, good entertainment.
Here's the $1 million question. Do you regret it, or you'll do it again?
I wouldn't do it again, but I don't regret it.
You don't regret it?
I don't regret it, but I wouldn't do it again.
Okay.
No.
Why? Because I noticed you didn't come back for another season. So
why? Well, I was on it 3 seasons. I was on it 3 years, right? I did 3 seasons. So, it's a twofold.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but you were on it at the time where it was.
When it was high, the highest point, It was the hottest show in the country. It was beating out Duck Dynasty. It was 8 million views.
But to me, it's the new Jerry Springer.
Exactly.
I fucks with it.
Exactly. So the Atlanta one was the biggest one, really. That was the breadwinner, right? And the seasons that I was on was the highest because they had that drama between me and Stevie. Stevie was the #1 play on the show.
And then you shot the porno flick too.
And then we did, and then me
you
and
was
her.
out there.
That was the third season.
You got loose on the shower rod, right? Or some shit.
Well, yeah.
I didn't see it, but I heard a lot about it. Okay?
Then we went way to the other side.
Okay.
Like the show just did.
Gotta ask. Because on the show, you lose your luggage. And then
what? Say it again.
You lose your luggage.
Yeah.
And then the luggage.
Right.
This camera was in there.
Right.
I didn't believe you. I'm being honest.
Right. Okay, cool.
You're my friend. You're my friend. So I feel like I can say this to you.
You can.
When I watched it, I said, there's no way this story is for real. You just lose it, and then it winds up in the biggest
site ever. Media.com.
But I just need to ask this part. You can answer it whichever way you want. What really did happen? You can tell it doesn't matter.
No, so what happened is we both staged it, me and her.
Okay.
We did this, we said we're gonna go, all right, let me give you the backstory so you understand why it happened, right?
Okay.
Stevie was taking her down a lane with dogging her, bad baby mother, she's on drugs, she's all this other stuff, basically lying. So he was going on the radio, he had more power than her, so he was going on the radio putting her out there as a bad mom. Right? And we were both going through, we wasn't going to come back to the next season. So we was kind of, me and her we was smoking, we was getting high, blah, blah, but we was in drug addicts, right? Whoa. And we just decided we was doing this anyway. Me and her used to film each other when we was having sex. That's our thing. That was our thing. We smoke weed, we film each other. So we decided to say, what would be the fourth season? It wasn't looking like she was coming back or I was coming back. No, actually the third season, right? Because this was in the second season that it happened. That made my second season. So it wasn't looking like we was coming back on the show. So because our names were so high in the media, then we stayed on that drug, that media drug, that have to be popular.
I need you to describe this. I hate the fame drug.
Yeah, so we stayed on the fame drug because we were so addicted to it. With all this exposure that we was getting.
This is real for you.
With all this 8 million exposure everywhere we going, we was a power couple, we was moving like that. But still, nobody knew the inside story between me and her. Nobody really knew that her mind was still being controlled by Stevie, her baby daddy. And as a woman, she's emotional. So I understood what she was going through, and I was there for her to make her understand all these things. And the show was kind of like, also made her to be what she was, like the victim. So what I want people to really understand about TV and reality TV in particular is that you need characters. Right? Everybody, you need a character. So that's how they make money. You can't make money on a show if there's no characters, right? So my character was the villain.
Right. Did they tell you that, or you figured that out?
No. They don't tell you nothing.
Okay.
What they do is film for an hour, 2 hours.
And they edit it that way.
And then me and you arguing and having an argument conversation. But let's say I win the argument through logic. I win it through logic, pure logic. But they filmed us for an hour. But they only so the parts that I was shouting at you, shouting at, that's the part that the world sees. You get it? So they don't see the logic part that,
They don't see
the relation, they don't see all that. They only see that I was shouting at you, and that's what they take from it. And they would see you with like, yo, what are you talking about? So you're the good person, I'm the bad guy.
Straight
so
deception.
Deception. So editing plays a big part in making money in these billion-dollar corporations, right? And it's understandable. There's nothing wrong with that, right? It's the business for them, right? But I think that's what was it for us. That's what it was. It was that.
So when you hear that, what do you think?
What I know is that that's what they do. They have to manipulate and use deception to create division. That's what they do. They can't have brothers on the show or anybody on the show do anything good, having legitimate arguments, conversations, using logic, etc. Because that doesn't sell.
So hold on. So
brothers, he don't hear ratings.
So what if you was to come on do that same show and you was to be like, yo, I'm gonna work it out with Stevie, like, you know, me and Stevie are gonna be cool. You think that wouldn't have been accepted? And that's just God. Honestly, I don't even know the answer.
Okay. Never would that have been accepted because there's no buy-in to that. No. So there's no build-up to goodness. There's build-up to badness. Correct. So think about this, right?
Damn.
He's speaking the truth.
Think about this.
Go ahead.
As a kid, right? I used to want to run home to see, you know, Batman and Robin, but I was always fascinated with the villain because I was a street nigga. I'm from the streets. I put that work in, whatever. So I'm always fascinated with the bad guy. Not the good guy. I understand the good guy, Superman and all that, but I need to see, the reason I'm watching it, because I want to see that good versus bad and evil.
You fuck with the Joker,
good
more than
and
Batman.
evil. I want to see that, you know what I'm saying? I want to see that.
Fuck with Lex Luthor more than Superman.
Exactly. Because those are the way TV put it, those are the exciting parts. That's the conflict, right? So that's what, if you see that, like, put it like this, when you watch a movie and you see a trailer, right? That trailer is to lead you to go to the movies. They go up on all this excitement, then they cut it off.
Bam.
It's for you to go buy a ticket and go see that, right?
Yep.
It's the same way in reality TV. They build up the drama, and then it's for you to wait till Monday because you mad now. Because today is Friday and you can't see this till Monday. So that's on your mind the whole weekend.
Right.
What's going on with Nikko? They gonna fight Monday. So your whole weekend conversation with Nikko and Stevie and the Demimis of the world is, yo, they gonna get it in. They showed the clip of it. I didn't show everything, but man, Monday it's gonna be on. We gotta catch that. So it's all deception, right?
Wow.
That's how TV is. Yes. But at the end of the day, it's been like that for centuries before we was born. It's really the business. It's editing. It's all in the edits. So what people don't understand is all in the edits. So most people think that I'm a womanizer. They think that I took advantage of me. They don't know anything about the backstory. They only know.
They don't know that was planned.
They don't know, and they also don't know that she came out and confessed that it was planned. That we planned it.
Yeah, I do know that.
Right.
I know that.
So people who watch it, of course, she came on national TV, and they asked me. She did it first, though. And then they asked me, and I confirmed it. I said, yeah, well, that's what she said. That's what we did. But that's exactly what we did. We planned the sex tape to benefit us having a bigger challenging the Jocelyn and Stevie. Because remember, me and her were competing against Jocelyn and Stevie. Wow. So they were the bigger names on the show at that time. And they were being, you know.
It was a publicity move.
Yeah, so we did a publicity move that kind of wanted to trump them, right? Because at the time there was a baby daddy. He's with the younger woman. He's with the younger woman. She's 10 years older. He disses her for the younger woman, so she's trying to get back. She's trying to, what can we do to sting her? And I was in that conversation with her, so I said, maybe we film these tapes, just put out our own sex tape.
Be the new Ray J and Kim Kardashian, goddamn.
Yeah.
People started doing that after that, all over the place.
You know what I mean? So the tape thing, me saying the tape was in my bag, that was something that I did as a man.
Right.
I didn't
to protect her.
Yeah, she didn't tell me I should say that. I told her I'm gonna say that because she had a daughter.
Right.
I said, listen, it's gonna be easier for me to take the weight as a man. Right. Because you know what I'm saying, I'm from the hard knock life. I already fought on my back, so I understand that. She don't know. She's emotional. She like, oh, my daughter. I'm like, well, we don't have to do it either. So she was like, oh, well, nah, we got to do it because what are we gonna do? We got to, let's make it happen. But where are we gonna take it at? Then that's how the Vivid came into play.
Yeah, Vivid, there you go.
Right. So that's kind of where we was at with it. That's what we did. We did the sex tape. We put it out there. I said that. Listen, I'm gonna say it was in my bed because we did go to the Bahamas and we did a couple of walkthroughs in different places all over. But this particular one, we said, when let's say the tapes was in my bag. Right. So I said, yo, this is what I'm gonna say to take the heat off of you. So everything could be looked on me. But that was only agreed on. I only did that because I thought she was in my corner. Like we were rocking as Bonnie and Clyde. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Right. And I didn't know she was gonna cross the street.
What made that, like, what made y'all even, like, because I mean, y'all had a pack, I felt like y'all looked happy together. So what was like the last straw? What was the straw?
So I think this is what happened, right? She's a great woman, emotional, of course. Her storyline on the show, first of all, before I even came there, was the victim. From the first Love and Hip Hop ever in Atlanta, what was she to y'all? She was the victim. Stevie took advantage of her. He had Jocelyn, a younger girl, disrespecting his baby mom, coming over the house, coming over to the house, blah, blah, blah. So she was a total victim in real life. This ain't no TV. She was a total victim in real life. Her whole life was on TV. She didn't know that was gonna whiplash her like that. Stevie just seen a bigger pot, and he said, "Hold up, I need to play this hand because this hand is gonna give me. I'm gonna be the man." So he brought the show to a level, but he also sold something too. So he sold part of his soul at the same time. You understand? Because he had to have them two women in turmoil to give the ratings to, like I said. What happens when they show a commercial for the next episode and it's coming on Monday and you mad? Okay, so he was that for the show. And he knew his role very well.
He was the antagonist.
Right. And they knew that about it. They say, he's the guy that's taking us to the next level. So he had that. He was the bad guy before I even came on. This was the first season. Before I wasn't even talked about. I came on the second season. That was my first season. He was the bad guy. So me and Mimi were trying to have a relationship. Like when I first went down to Atlanta, she had to sneak over to my house. Like we couldn't be out in public together or anything because that's how much fear her baby father had on her. Like, it's the mind thing. And then the show, of course, perpetuated a lot of stuff too.
Yeah, and in Atlanta, she's a very big individual.
She's a big individual,
especially in Atlanta.
Yeah, she has a name. She had her cleaning service. So I think what happened was. We try to have a relationship, but it's very impossible to have a relationship when you're not already happy. See, my thing is now, right? You have to, in order for any relationship to work, you got to both of y'all got to meet each other with your own separate happiness, and then y'all come together. You can't it's selfish for a woman to say you ain't making me happy, or you to tell a woman she ain't making you happy. It's selfish because you're supposed to have your own foundation laid. On your own as a man and a woman, right? Understand your foundation. Once you got that, then you can transform into someone else and be with that man or that woman or whatever and be happy because they come in with happiness. So it's like bringing something to the table. You want to bring your chair to the table. So with Mimi, just going back on that, it's very hard. It was very hard for me to make her happy or even for us to coexist in a relationship on national TV when she's already came from a broken foundation, right? So although we was rocking, I looked at it and then she looked at it the same way. We were business, trying to make a relationship happen on TV, which got impossible because she was manipulated into being a victim. So she started believing that I leaked the tape. And I'm like, how you do that? Now let me tell you why I say that. This is the crazy part. She did an interview. And this is when I knew she crossed the street.
Still together?
No, we're not. Okay. Right now.
No, I'm saying like the interview you was about to say.
Yeah.
While y'all together?
While we together. Okay. Yeah, while we together. After the tape. This after the tape was leaked and, it was all out there. We didn't yet confess that we staged this. We didn't yet confess this. So in the interview, this is when I knew she crossed the street on me. So in the interview, they was asking her, I said, so let me ask you, do you think Nikko leaked the tape? Now, logically, if a person say, no, I don't think Nikko leaked the tape, but I got my suspicions. Right? That's taking the weight straight off of we still in it together. We still Bonnie and Clyde. But what she said is the opposite. She said when they said, do you think Nikko leaked the tape? She said, I got my suspicions. Now I'm confused because I'm like, what are you talking about? You didn't flip the whole script. Who told you to say that? So that's where everything went left for us. You understand? Whoever told her to say she had a suspicion that I leaked the tape, knowing that me and you sat down and plotted this whole thing out, you done lost your mind. So that immediately told me that I'm in I'm fighting a giant. I'm fighting something bigger than me. That's when she crossed the street. You get it?
I understand.
So that's how that whole thing happened. She crossed the street on me and said that. So after that, that's when stuff started going downhill. That's when she started, kind of like, it's funny.
And this wasn't just on the show. This was in real life.
This was in real life and on the show, of course. But it was in real life too. So it's kind of funny at the same time because I said to myself, and I had to think about this like a year after, and I said, I got to give her a pass for that. I got to give her a pass because I gave her a pass for that, sir. Because I said that wasn't something that she understood what she was doing when she said that. But I understood what needed to happen for them to break this situation up, to make it look like me as the villain, as the bad guy, as the Joker.
It kind of seemed like you liked playing it.
Yeah, well, no.
At the time, at least.
Well, at the time, I liked playing it, but then I think at the time I liked playing it, but I think what happened is that they didn't give me enough sound bites, right, to tell my story, right?
So they not to seem like a
exactly.
villain.
There you go. So what they let play out is that they just gave me the villain. Keep him in that box. Keep him in the villain. Let everybody think this and think that, and just keep it there. They didn't give me the other side. Even though it was talked about in filming, they didn't show that part. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't give me shots with, being around my family or being around someone.
So you're being censored.
Exactly. Showing the other side.
Did you ever watch Love? I know your answer is no, but you ever watch Love and Hip Hop?
Nah, man, I haven't. And that's I haven't. But that's everything he's saying is correct. They manipulate it. It's not a real show.
Right.
They manipulate it. It's real people, but it's staged behavior. Everything he's saying, they're not gonna put the real, like you said, they're not gonna show a black man with his family, not in a good way. Really, children love him. No, they're not gonna do that because again, conflict is what sells. Conflict is what get the ratings to go. They're not gonna do that.
Facts.
Oh, you right. So,
but I have fun doing it. Let's say that. And the funny thing about it is, it's a two-side for me, right? Because before the show, I was already a ghetto celebrity, just in New York. Moving around the way I move. I had the cars, had the toys, had all that. So I was already that in the streets.
Because I was surprised when I seen you on Love and Hip Hop. I was like,
everybody was surprised.
I did not think you exactly. That was your type of thing.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I know you from other things, and when I see that, I was surprised. I was like, whoa.
As a matter of fact, hold on. I did see a few episodes, but it wasn't Atlanta.
Okay.
That's what it was. Okay, so thank you, because I was like, no, there's been a lot of them, but it wasn't Atlanta.
But a lot of my homies, a lot of my niggas, they was the same way. They was like, nigga, you. So even when people come up to them now, they be like, y'all don't even know Nikko, man. They just be like, they try to tell a story, but they like, y'all ain't gonna get it. Y'all ain't gonna understand. But I have fun on it. At the end of I said it's a twofold for me, right? Because I was a ghetto celebrity before that, right? But the show, the credit that I do give the show is that it gave me a name in the culture of TV, right? And it gave me that name. It made me that household name. So now it's what I do to transform that into making those minds see the story that they didn't see or know about, or the real me, right? And that's the beauty about this. So everywhere I go in the world, people still say, "Hey, nigga,
have you and Stevie seen each other and squashed it?"
No. See, that's a whole different mix-up.
I wish that, just so you know. I'm cool with Stevie. Obviously, I'm cool with you. Always been a great guy every time I seen you. So I hope you brothers work that out. You know what I'm saying? And we all love to Jocelyn and Mimi and all of them. But I would like to see you guys come together and just I'm gonna be kumbaya and light sage together. But y'all can come together, give each other a five. I would like that because
see, that's funny, right? Because I've always been for that.
Okay.
Right? Even on the show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But the ego sometimes takes over, right? And either him or either me. So I think with him, that's where the ego played out. I'm more understanding to understand what that is. It's TV, you got to put on this shield, this armor. And I get that. I understand that. You want to be the guy, I'm with your baby mom, blah, blah, blah. I get all that. Right. But at some point, you got to come to reality and understand what you saying is straight crazy right now. Like, you beefing about something that you took advantage of, and somebody else came in. Right. I mean, you wasn't even homies like that to the hangout point. We just did the same. We was on the same level of entertainment, right? And you beefing about a woman that you done took all kind of advantage of. Right. And because I'm with her, you mad that I'm showing her a whole different way to look at life and a whole different way to take care of herself, take care of her daughter, and give her the mindset that she needs. You know what I mean? To help herself, to help her daughter, to help. You know what I mean? Get herself on a.
Why is it for us so easy for us to have beef with each other? Like
ego.
It's the easiest thing to have beef.
We were taught that.
Pride,
ego. We were taught that because we were one people at a certain point. But again, someone came from the outside and taught us division by first dividing us first and then encouraging us to be more and more divided. They started encouraging that. It's always a third party, somebody that's creating that conflict between both parties.
You know what I noticed? Brooklyn is Queens. In Queens, there is no dividing.
There's no dividing.
There is
Imaginary
nothing.
line.
Yeah,
There is no divide. And
remember that saying though, right? Remember what was the saying? Brooklyn, Queens faking it. Brooklyn taking it. Manhattan making it. Bronx is the whack. Remember that? It was a saying that was going on back in the day.
But what I'm trying to say is the other day I really literally was in New York City, and I really literally went to every borough, and the only borough that has a separation is Manhattan. You have to go through a bridge or something. But every other borough is literally connected to each other.
Yes.
And I said, but the crazy shit is you'll say, I'm from the Bronx. But you're really saying you're from Queens. You're really saying you're from. But the thing is, why like I heard that was the first thing. Okay. The Bloods and Crips. Obviously, I'm from New York City. I don't know to the extent. But the illest trick that they did was to separate them.
Right.
Absolutely. Was to say, this is a Blood hood and this is a Crip hood. Right. But when in all actuality, it's the same fucking
thing.
hood. Am I accurate in that?
Yeah, it was all the same thing. I mean, Crips, first of all, were created as a response to racist police officers. It was an acronym. It stood for Community Resistance in Progress. Some say Community Revolution in Progress. But it was when black people came together to say, no, we're not going to allow you to come in here and do your racist behavior and kill our people without standing up for it. Number one, Tookie Williams, Raymond Washington. The Bloods, as well.
Also the Spooks and the Bounty Hunters and things like that? Okay.
Yeah, the Avenues. I mean, you had some older names before. It was just solid Blood, solid Crips.
Puma Gang back in Brooklyn.
What was the Transformers, Commander? It had a lot of different names. But the point is, we were all one people and we had one agenda, and that was to protect our community. That's what it was. But again, COINTELPRO, you got this government like, we're not gonna let niggas come together. This is not gonna happen. Because if you come together, then that means you all know who the real enemy is, which is me. So that means, as you asked earlier, what if all the gangs came together? And the hip hop artists are the ones who control that and help to use that to push the real agenda, which is helping our people. Then this government will automatically lose. They'll lose everything. And all the control, they can't have that. They have us under remote control, Negro remote control. We are the white man's Frankenstein. So I'll put it that way. So the reason why they have all that control is because we don't see one another as our brother. As Brother N.O.R.E says, and Ms. Farrakhan says, when you're looking at your brother, you're looking at your other self. So if you see yourself like that, then you will not be able to kill your brother. That's why I say Brother N.O.R.E, brother nigga. I say brother because it's hard for me to say I'm gonna kill my brother. It's easy to say I'm gonna kill that nigga. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's how it started, and that is the original purpose. Again, that's why we are uniting. A lot of Bloods and Crips in LA and all over the country have been uniting heavily. It's not publicized because, again, they don't want you to see that. But yeah, it's happening.
So one of the things, I think it was J. Edgar Hoover, they said that the Black Panthers was the biggest threat.
One of them. He was asked the question, what is the greatest threat to the United States?
Organized black people.
He said Negro unity. What is the greatest threat to America? He said Negro unity. That should tell you right there what the government's plan was, and what it will forever be if they want to maintain control and dominance. Keep the black man and woman divided from each other. Keep them divided.
So when you hear the brother right here.
Oh yeah, all day long.
Say his story just now.
All day long.
Just that
carbon copy. Straight. Everything he was saying, divided. He like, man, they're not showing us. Me using logic, trying to diffuse the situation. I'm being cool with my brother. They're not showing that, but they did show the yelling, maybe before or after in the middle, and they pieced that. Them sound bites is real slick, man.
He said that.
Well, that's what they do. You know, I mean, that's what it is.
Tell, lie, vision.
They have to make a character out of you. So everybody has to have some kind of storyline on TV, period.
Yes.
Right? That's just how it works. Reality TV is a little different because that storyline is like they need to make everybody what they need to make them, right?
Yes.
And back to your Stevie thing. I don't have a problem with. I've never had a problem with Stevie.
Right.
I've always been on the offense.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's always on the defense. So I understood that after I got off the show. I said, "Damn, this guy's he's still on the defense." I believe, but for the record, I never had a problem with Stevie.
Right, that's what's up.
That's what you know what I mean. So I'm cool with whatever. It's already been squashed in my mind. That's what
definitely want y'all to work that out.
Yeah, it's already been squashed.
Us coming together and squashing that shit because you know one of the illest moments again. I'm going back to California. One of the illest things I ever seen was when the Bloods and Crips they had squashed it after
the Rodney
King.
Oh yeah.
After Rodney King, I saluted that, but again, that was a tragedy. That was something that was remarkable that came from a tragedy.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm just hearing rumors, and there's a rumor that the LAPD said, you know what? If these motherfuckers continue this, and then there was a killing that happened, and they went right back to doing it. They went right back to like gangbanging. From what I heard, I don't know. I'm from New York again, but that killing was done from the police. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so. Did you hear that? You understand things like that?
And that's something that people have to understand when you're dealing with the police. Again, you're dealing with a foundation or an organization that was founded and based in slave catching. They were slave catchers. They were property procurement officers. They were called paddy wagons, you name it. They had to secure property. So the whole foundation.
I want to say officer, overseer.
Come on, brother, overseer.
So basically what you're saying is that the patrolling of a police officer was based on blacks.
Yes, based on the catching of black people, of slaves. Wow. That's what they are. You can never escape the foundational principles of your origin. You got to go to the root and dig it all the way up and remake it from the bottom up. So with them, yes, they will say one thing, and we work with the LAPD as far as the unity efforts go. You know, we come in and we hear an issue is going on, etc. We work with them so that they don't just kill our people. We step in and we say, okay, we got this. You can back up, officers. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we maintain that peace. We maintain that order there. But we know what we're dealing with. Right. You see, we're dealing with a specific mindset. So although we would love for you to sincerely have our best interest at heart, we know what your agenda is. You know, certain individuals who are police, sure, they may be good police officers, individuals, but that institution is not at all interested in us coming together at all. So there are good officers and they need to stand up just like good white people need to stand up against bad white people, right? But in LA, yes, there are some LAPD officers who will shoot and have done it, dressed up as Bloods, dressed up as Crips, go in opposite territories and neighborhoods and create the fighting again. They've been doing this for years.
Like in the movie Training Day, the chicks, a lot of that stuff is real.
Of course, every time we come together after a tragedy, it happened after Rodney King, it happened after our brother Nipsey Hussle. Man, Allah be pleased. Once that happened, first of all, they expected the cities to blow up. They expected that to happen because it was a black man that did it. So they just expected the 60s to run, just go kill people, everybody kill each other. That's what they expected. But the gangs came together. And they ended, brother, they ended gang wars that have been lasting for well over 20 years.
I'll tell you something that really shocked me.
Yes.
I'm black and Puerto Rican. So that's how it is in New York. In New York, like black and Puerto Rican is the same thing. LA, they are not.
True. They're different. Blacks and Mexicans.
LA, blacks and Mexicans are not.
Which goes back to the prison system.
Goes back to the prison system. I had never, I don't want to say march, but when people were walking down the F.O.I, I was leading the thing.
Yes, sir.
And when I seen the Mexican gangs there,
because
I literally shed a tear because I was like, damn. Because I'm both.
Like it's possible.
I was locked up there. I'm gonna give it to you front hand. I did 30 days in the county jail, right? Wayside.
And I was down there, dorm 722.
Yeah, so I did 30 days in there, right? I was facing like 5 years. But the judge locked me up, said, we ain't giving him no bail. I'm gonna make my decision in 30 days. But anyway, what you said is 100% right. So in LA, so I'm in jail, so they call me Brooklyn. But they got it's separate. It's like they got the
You
blood.
can't talk to the
Bloods, the
Spanish
Crips.
people.
Listen, the Bloods, the Crips, the Paisans, the
Samoans.
The Samoans. Then they got the Aryan Nations. So the Paisans are Mexicans. The Aryan Nations the white guys.
Oh, the Paisans Mexicans, not Italians?
No, Paisans is
And the Mexicans are divided in North and South? Because I know North and South Mexicans have beef in California.
Yeah, that's all divided. And then the shower, so you can't, so they got 6 phones. You can't be on the same, you can't, like a Crip can't be on the phone at the same time a Paisan is on the phone or Aryan Nation. You can't be in the shower. If it's 6 shower heads and one Paisan is in there or, Mexican is in there taking a shower, and let's say a black one to go in there and take a shower, you gotta wait till they finish. Same thing for blacks. If a black is in the shower, a Mexican can't take it. It could be 6 heads open. You can't take a shower. So it's very divided like that.
They had the tables divided as well.
So you're 100% right.
When
The tables divided, everything.
Yeah, when I walked in, it was one of our Samoan brothers who was asking each person a question. Hey, homie, you bang, you blood, you crib, etc. By the time he got to me, my wristband said Islam. So he looked at me, he said, You Muslim, bro? I said, yes. So he said, Assalamu alaikum, Maki. Well, let me just introduce you, show you what's, ropes. He said, well, the tables here, these are Mexican tables, these 3. Right here, the black tables over here, these 3. When we clean it up, we can go around, but other than that, you can't, cross this area here. I mean, just orientation. Let me orient you, brother.
It ain't like that here. It ain't like that here. Rikers Island.
But I can't say, while we were in there, at least in my dorm, we were together. The Mexicans and the blacks, they had that. They gave the orientation. But then you could go play some bones, play some dominoes at their table. You could do that spread. I had never seen a spread that big in my life, bro. It had like 75 eggs of south sides. They had a spread that covered this whole table. Oh yeah. Wow. I mean, it was crazy. No, for real. And because they were united with eating together, right? So, but my point is, there was unity being demonstrated in there. Okay. Between the blacks, Mexicans, Bloods, Crips. We didn't have. I know we had one white boy who wanted to be black so bad.
That's crazy.
But I think that's because he was the only white boy in the dorm.
Right. See, the only unity I had, that's all in my dorm where I was at. It was like 90 people in my dorm, right? The only unity I seen is stay in your lane. Right. Everybody just know your lane. We can walk around past each other and all that, but just stay in your lane. Once one person get out of order, it's a riot. I was like, don't set off a riot. I'm about to leave here in 30 minutes. Don't set off a riot.
Shut down the whole place. That's true.
You know what I mean? So I experienced what you said.
Right.
In there firsthand.
It was crazy. It was crazy because, being from Queens, I actually grew up with every race. It's kind of like crazy. Like, I literally can't be racist.
Yeah,
like I kid you not. Kid you not. Like in my building, I knew every single race. Like I knew white people in my building. I knew Russians. I knew Haitians. I knew Buddhists. I knew Chinese. I knew everything. And I just
you had the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I had shit. I had it all. So when I got up, when I realized that there is people that's racist, I was like, damn, this world is fucked up. Like they should all move to Queens. Because in Queens, like we literally lived on the same floor. Like I lived on the floor with the most opposite race. And as children, you're not born a racist. You're taught to be a racist. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Like as children, I never looked at me hanging with a white person as something bad, or me hanging with any other race that's other than mine. It was older where it's like, man, you hang with them, and you know what I mean. And the jail system too. It's like. When you go there, I was from 11 years old when I went to jail. I was taught that immediately, like, yo, you can't hang with these guys over here with the Latin Kings or whatever. But I was the dude in jail that played handball and basketball. Goddamn.
Handball, do it.
I didn't care. I never really chose. Like I said, I'm black and Puerto Rican. I never let the jail system break me down for me to choose. I just never did.
See, that's why you got the ownership mentality, and you ain't sell out. That's why you got that.
Right.
You got backbone.
I always talk because listen, and I'll tell you something. I know I'm jumping off subject a little bit. My brother name is Nicky, right? And his mother is an Afro-Latino. Right? And she can break down to you how Latin people are Latin I mean, Latin people are black in the most beautifulest way. Like, I'm talking about, like, and she's like white, like, right? You looking at her saying, what? I'm black. And you like, wait a minute. And you like, come on.
They exist, bro.
Come on. Especially all Caribbean Latinos, all
and she's like,
black
what?
culture.
She's telling me how,
culture.
you know, where she came from, and you know, that we didn't come from Spain, like they came, and the way she breaks it down, it's just like, it's such a
makes
beautiful,
you love everybody.
It makes such a beautiful thing, and it's like, damn, I want her to tell this to the world. Because we all know we all come from Africa, right? But when a person is going to be that articulate and show you how, it's a wonderful thing, man. It's just beauty, man. And I just feel like we're all one people.
Yes, sir.
I feel like we're all one people. And like I said, like you were saying earlier, like when you pointed out, it's not all white people. It's certain white people that did that and at that time. But there's devils in the black.
He says the mentality.
Community.
It's that mentality. It started with them, but that mentality has infected everybody.
Right.
So it's devils in every culture now.
So
some
what
black
did you
people
think
will kill black people worse than some white people will kill certain black people.
When you heard the Nipsey Hussle news, what was the first thing that came to you?
The first thing that came to my mind was, damn, another one.
Right. And you knew Nipsey Hussle.
Oh yeah. I secured Nipsey very short period of time, but you know, the nation. Nipsey learned a lot from the nation, brother. I mean, he read Message to the Black Man, Elijah Muhammad. T.I. asked him. Yeah, you already know. T.I. asked him, what book do you recommend? He told T.I. Message to the Black Man. He had a list of books. He was a very conscious and aware brother. He was proud, black, and Eritrean African brother. You know, he did a lot for his family, a lot for his people, a lot for the neighborhood. You know, but he disturbed those powers, brother, the ones that we talk about who are behind the industry, who are behind everything, by stepping out and wanting to look at a way to be free from America's currency. So he went out to Europe and he said, let me find a way to have money that is free from America's system, free from this paper, a different way of making money, this different type of Bitcoin. So he went out to Amsterdam and saw a city that was powered on nothing but Bitcoin. Nothing but Bitcoin. So he said, well, how can I get access to this? So he went out there, met with some people, and he took out a large chunk of that company, and he was going to bring that over here to LA. Then he created a center, Vector 90, I believe, that has programming and computers and teaching technology and coding to children. The brother was doing so many different things with economics. He was bringing unity between the Bloods, Crips, Blacks, and the Mexicans. He was doing so much that made this enemy say, we need to get this nigga.
Hold on, stop that.
Yes, I'll stop right here.
And remember everything you're saying.
Yes.
I'm just be honest with you. The only time I ever went to LA and I seen all of those different people, I went to a Nipsey Hussle show and I had never seen that. I was like, yo, the Mexicans are here. The Mexicans fuck with me too, because they know I'll be saying a little Spanish in here and there. You know what I'm saying? And like, and they know I'm like halfway a part of them. And like, I had never seen them come out. I've never seen them come to a Snoop show. I've been to a Snoop show. I've been to a Nate Dogg show. I've been to a Dog Pound show. I had never seen the Samoans, the Mexicans, the Asian gangs. They all came out to Nipsey shit. So
that's power, brother.
So go ahead.
That's power. And the other thing, along with every single thing that he was doing, it demonstrated so much unity, but it also demonstrated how much influence this man had. And because of that, the enemy is looking at the type of influence you have. And then you connect it with the Nation of Islam. You call him Minister Abdul Malik, whose former name was Minister Tony. You call him at least twice a year, getting advice from him. And you're using Muhammad's economic blueprint, Elijah Muhammad's economic blueprint on how to save 5 cents a day, 35 cents a week, less than $20 a year to go into an economic base to get independent farms, schooling, banks, etc. Nipsey was on to an entire revolutionary move to free the people completely in every single way. And when you go towards that move, you are going directly against this enemy, because we are taught in the Nation of Islam that business is warfare. He entered into business, brother, and when he did that, he was putting the brothers on in the hood. He was getting them jobs. He was helping to educate them. He was rolling with the brothers. So he was protected. You see, and then all these different things were going on at the same time, and they said, we cannot allow this dude to inspire all the people, because now the world listening to him. Other artists are listening to him. And he's rolling with the people who we don't want nobody to be around. Them brothers in the bow ties, them brothers who follow Farrakhan. And so they said, we have to take him out. So I don't know what the exact specific reason was, but all of those are relevant factors, is what I'm saying.
Did you think that when you heard Nipsey Hussle pass, did you think it was like a conspiracy, or you thought it was like What did you think?
It was so many things that I heard. So one thing I heard is that the day before, or Nipsey had an interaction with this gentleman, right? Or maybe that day, and he told him, "Yo, you can't be around here," because he was some type of informant.
That day,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that's one thing I heard. And then I heard the suspicion theory. So with me, I would say all those factors that the brother just mentioned is key factors. You know, he was an economic movement to urban communities all over the world, ghettos, from Mexicans to blacks to, it doesn't matter, whites. He was just that force, that legend. That's why he's a legend, right? He had that influence over people. So I can probably say that maybe it probably was a suspicion. It probably was somebody seen at the higher powers and maybe made that trip.
And they said the documentary, Dr. Sebi documentary too, or something.
Yeah, they said the Dr. Sebi thing.
How about Kobe Bryant?
So, the Kobe situation is interesting. I'm hearing that too. I couldn't really, unless I hear all the facts surrounding, like they say, like I think Brother Umar or something like that. He said something to the fact that, the helicopter didn't even hit the mountain. So I don't know. I have to see the pictures. For me,
I haven't seen Brother Umar. I've heard of it.
See, listen. For me, I'm like this. I stand on logic. I stand on what I research. I stand on what I know, what I read.
Actual facts.
Right? So I don't stand on no one else's tongue. I've never been like that since a kid. Like, nobody else's tongue speaks for me. Unless I research it, I'm not following somebody else's tongue, right?
Smart.
So that's what most society is based on. It doesn't matter whether you're poor or rich. People's following other people's tongue without doing their own research. So until you do the research is when you can educate yourself and you can stand on the truth yourself and build your own opinion. Then you can enter into that conversation. With me, I would probably say I hear both sides, but I don't know what it is unless I personally say, let me go dig into it myself and see if this makes sense. Did the helicopter hit the mountain? Because I don't know. He said it didn't. But then I have to go dig up that. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm so interested with you. Because I feel like you just sitting there just waiting. Like, I don't know. I kept looking at his face.
Because what he said, what I'm saying is that he did his information. He got the information. He did the research. So whatever the brother is saying, he has a different code. He's in a different coding system than I am.
Right.
His codes is different than mine. You know what I mean? He has a different. He can get into the intersection more than I can.
So before I pass it to you, I'll tell you what I thought. There's this mountain from Calabasas to Malibu. I hate this mountain. It feels like the devil's mountain. I have never been there and felt comfortable. Like, I kid you not, and I might be out of line for saying this. Every time I ride that mountain from Calabasas to Malibu, I feel like God don't want me there.
Wow.
I'm so sorry for anybody who has to take this route every day.
That's crazy.
But, like, there's something about that area that we shouldn't have built on as humans.
Wow.
I don't know why. I don't know. I'm just telling you, maybe it's me. Fuck it. Let me just not even throw it on all humans, all right? But every time, my friend Diego's right there, my close friend. He drove on this mountain and he took a sip of soda. I almost died. I said, if you don't keep your two hands on that motherfucking steering wheel, my brother, and he just didn't feel it. So I can't knock him for him not feeling this.
Right.
It's where Kevin Hart crashed.
That's crazy.
It's where Kevin Hart crashed. And that, I'm just being honest with you, because I've been coming to LA for 20 years.
Yeah.
But I fell in love with Malibu for maybe 15 of these years. I had never discovered Malibu.
I think I know the mountain you're talking about because I drove across it. It's almost like you can drive and you feel like you're gonna go off the cliff.
It's horrible. It's like a screen machine, but in real life. It's like the Great Adventures ride, but in real life.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, because I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm just telling you. Every time I feel like I'm there, it's feel like God is telling me, I won't take a meeting and I will leave 2 hours, 3 hours early just to avoid that fucking mountain.
Wow.
So when that's Canyon. You take the Pacific.
Topanga
Canyon is the mountain.
I hate
what he's talking about.
That's what you said,
What you talking about is the scenic route is Pacific Coast Highway.
I like that.
Right.
I
Take
like
that straight.
Yeah, I like that.
Then you good.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Coast.
I like that.
But the
that
Topanga
shit
Canyon,
through that canyon.
No, that's the canyon that's just that's the Death Canyon.
Yo,
twice.
I know what you're talking about.
Yo, trust me, I hate. Like I don't know what it is. Cause sometimes people they get a little creeped out when you say God talk to you. You get a little creeped out.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about y'all niggas getting creeped out right now. I don't care. It's literally I feel like God says like this: get the fuck out of here. And when I found out Kevin Hart crashed anywhere near that or going in that area, I was just like, damn, I think that's God. Yeah. Like I really, and I don't want to say that to Kobe. I don't want to put this on Kobe because it's way too fresh. It's way too much of a early cut.
Yes, sir.
But when I found out it was like near that Calabasas area, is the only thing I can think of. But now I want you to hear your theory. That was my theory.
Right.
I can be completely wrong. I'm just telling you.
I share that same feeling with you because I've driven up that. I know what you're talking about.
Just that. And I love Calabasas.
Right. It literally feels like
I'd rather take the long way.
It's like them Hollywood movies that you see, and you see them going up the winding hill, but you know that if he goes to the right a little, he's off the cliff.
You're off the cliff.
That's how exactly.
And there's certain parts of that mountain where there's no railing, like they can't stop you. But what is it when you heard the brother Kobe? I need you to keep it regalia.
Yes, sir.
Keep it as real as you can.
Man, I'll say the first thing is the reasoning as to why I didn't do a video because I would do a whole breakdown of all of it, all the facts only. The reason why I did not do that is because it was too early, far too early. And right now it still is too early.
Right.
Too many facts are coming out left and right. Okay. Too many things are being revealed to where I said, you know what, I'm going to hold off on that one respectfully out of the wishes of the family, even before the family even gave those orders out through LA Times. The family had to tell the people through LA Times, please stop talking about what happened because you don't know everything and the family hasn't grieved yet. Let us grieve. Right. So I made the call early. I said, I am not, out of respect for Brother Kobe, out of respect for Sister Gigi and the family, and the other 7 people on that airline and their families. Respectfully, I'm not going to speak on this because I know now. I'm recognizing my influence in the words that they have. So therefore, I have to be more responsible and let the family grieve, let them take their time. And then, sure, I might do a video a little later to break down everything, but too many facts came out and a whole lot of people embarrassed themselves by saying things too early that turned out to not be correct. They embarrassed themselves horribly. And even right now, because of what's going on, it's so fresh that I feel that there are still a number of other things that are going to come out. Yes, it was sabotaged. Yes, he had been driving that same route over 10 years. Yes, the pilot that was on there was not, from my understanding, a licensed pilot, but Kobe was a licensed pilot. Yes, there were a lot of things that surrounded that. The body burning up for that long, the helicopter burning up for that long, all different things. Them saying, well, the helicopter pilot couldn't see through the fog, but you have sonar, you have heat sonar, radio sonar, you can see through fog.
But that fog is terrible.
It is.
Let's be clear.
It is, but the sonar doesn't pick up the actual atmosphere. It picks up all of the material. So you see it on the gauge going around in the green light, and it shows. It shows everything that's right there. It's like having night vision goggles.
And I think they didn't have a black box, right? They didn't have a black box on.
I think they got a black box.
They didn't have a black box on that helicopter.
They didn't have a black box.
That's what was said. That's what I'm saying.
And because of things like this, because the way we're taught in the Nation of Islam is we are not going to speak unless it is actual facts. Right. We're not going to even deal with that, especially when it comes to the loss of life, bro. Right. That we don't play with that. We respect that. We respect the family. We respect. Doesn't matter if you blue check mark holder, if you a brother in the hood. Right. We always in the hood. Candlelight vigils or preventing murders, but we're there, whether if it's a funeral, etc. So we respect that because we wouldn't want our brother, our father, our husband, our cousin to be blasted all over the internet with a bunch of random people who don't know what the hell they're talking about. And all we're trying to do is not see that right now.
Did you see Dr. Umar's
of course. Yes.
I didn't see it, so I shouldn't be speaking on it, but I do know that he put 24, 8, and something like that.
A lot of people went into numerology and were breaking down numbers. A lot of it added up. Yes, there was a cartoon that came out well over 5 years ago talking about Kobe Bryant dying in a helicopter crash. Yes, there's all these things.
I'm fucked up. I'm asking some shit.
See, I know a lot of the facts about it. A lot of it.
Wait, say that again.
What was the cartoon exactly?
No, it wasn't Simmons. It was a black cartoon on Cartoon Network. I forgot the name of it. One of you can get it for me. But that cartoon He died in a plane crash, or the helicopter crashed. He came out of the window with his trophies, and they said, "Hey, Kobe, just pass them to me, and I'll save you." He said, "Pass," and then the helicopter blew up. They tried to make a joke.
Yeah, exactly.
And back then it was a joke because he was alive, etc. But that happened. A number of other things happened. There was a tweet that was actually manipulated. That tweet that said Kobe Bryant is going to die in a helicopter crash. And that tweet was in 2012 from a brother whose name I can't recall. But from my understanding, that tweet was manipulated through an app where they switched the dates under that tweet. So that's another thing.
That's crazy.
See, a lot of misinformation goes out here because we have to understand the same enemy, again, who controls all of this, wants to keep our attention everywhere else. You're in the middle of the impeachment of the President of the United States. They are going to manipulate our emotions. Right. So much so to where for days and even weeks we are only going to talk about our brother. Not that it's a bad thing to talk about our brother, but to talk about this and not pay attention to what is going on over your head is a problem. You see what I'm saying? So they always use tragedy to create more confusion and to also pass laws to commit some of the most horrific things on the planet, to do things behind your back, behind your back, etc. So yeah, I just wait for the rest of the facts to come out, and then again, I might do a video on it because I did it on Jeffrey Epstein. Right. Y'all need to go see that video.
Yo, that's gotta be deep.
Oh yeah. A lot of things that I
Damn, I don't know Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh my God, that's just crazy. Dog.
You're playing Are you serious?
You couldn't even just the normal shit we know. You couldn't even make it up. It's so crazy.
But who was that? It won't break it down.
He was a
the
rich
dude that killed himself in the prison. But they
supposedly in New York, in the jail.
Rich
man. He had some island, and he was doing the
sex island over in
Well, the way I heard it, he was just tied to a lot of important people, powerful people. They needed him executed.
He needed Epstein, Harvey Weinstein.
And I heard it was through women. I heard he was escort service, and he was doing.
Even the dude that's defending Trump now is tied to him.
Jeffrey Epstein was one of those behind the sex trafficking, organ trafficking of children.
Organ trafficking, we gotta get into that later.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, since we talking about
crazy.
Brother, you're dealing about it's business.
So motherfuckers cut niggas open for lungs and shit.
Right. According to the United States Census Bureau, by the year 2042, Caucasian people in America will be the minority. By 2042, you're dealing with people whose bodies cannot sustain life. Right now, more white women's wombs are not able to hold a baby up to 9.5 months, and they're having miscarriages. So they're having more deaths than births, according to the United States Census Bureau. When you're dealing with a group of people who look at their livelihood and it is dwindling, there are actions that need to be taken. So not only do we have the black women being encouraged to have hysterectomies, but we have the white women being encouraged to have more children. You have the abortion clinics in 78% of the inner city neighborhoods, while you have the majority of fertility clinics in the rich neighborhoods. You have body parts. Black women are being encouraged to get hysterectomies, but those hysterectomies are not being petitioned to be received by trans men. It gets very deep.
Wow.
Very deep. I know, curveball. I know.
That took a turn.
I know. Another thing, you have organs, kidneys, you have lungs, hearts, etc. that are on the underground white market because black people don't control it. White and Jewish people primarily do control it, so I can't call it the black market. It's the white market. Okay, number one. Number two, hearts are worth a little over 100,000. Kidneys are worth over 20, 50,000, depending on where it is. And those black body parts, hence why 75,000 plus black men are missing. A lot of these children, 2,500 every year, are missing.
It sounds like Get Out.
It is Get Out. That movie was based on true stories happening all over the place. In America, right now, it is a $30 billion sex trafficking commercialized industry, meaning the money made from sex trafficking of children and women is now contributing to America's economic base. It is not a secret anymore.
And organ trafficking.
And organ trafficking, because people are dying. How did David Rockefeller get 6 or I believe 7 heart transplants in less than 20 years? When you go on the list for a heart donor, you have to go back to the bottom after you get a heart. This man, who happens to be a banker, and he's gone now, but he got over 5 hearts. How do you do that unless you have the money to do it? And not only that, but what hearts was he getting?
Yeah,
a black man's heart.
For real, because who the fuck is going to give you that heart? That means you die.
Which is why you shouldn't put organ donor on your driver's license.
I'm going to get rich, but I'm dead.
Which is why you shouldn't put organ donor on your driver's license. Because that makes you a target. This is a real world we're dealing with, y'all. Now, you brought me on Drink Champs, damn it. We dropping the real information.
I know one thing,
bro.
I know they're kidnapping girls in New York. So I
they
know
doing that in New York too.
What? Yeah, they
But we was talking about that.
We was talking about
They are
Atlanta.
kidnapping girls, man, in New York for that same thing.
All over, yes.
Organs.
This is correct.
Organs.
Yeah.
We have to
This is
protect
serious.
our
This is real.
children,
What's
protect
that
our
movie in
women.
Brazil where the motherfuckers in Brazil they just catch tourists? I think it's called touristas.
Yeah.
Touristas, and they just come and they take the tourists.
They
real,
found
it's real,
a bunker in Phoenix, Arizona, a couple months ago with refrigerators full of hearts, kidneys, a few heads, body parts in refrigerators. This is a very real thing, and it wasn't just an organ warehouse. No, it was a bunker, unmarked. People didn't know about it until the police raided it, and they found all these body parts. It's a very real thing.
You see that movie Replicas with Keanu Reeves?
Oh yeah.
Did you see it? Mm-hmm. You saw it? Anybody here saw it? It's about Keanu Reeves. His family dies, and he replicates them. But they're robots or like aliens, but they're his real family. And the fact is that he was the first person that like got away with it. The people are trying to kill him, and they're trying to kill the family because they don't want nobody to know that. It's like a very scary movie. Like I believe that movie, and I don't know if you ever. I know I'm getting a little crazy right now, but
yeah, I mean, most stuff that's on TV or movies.
You ever seen this movie Idiocracy?
Yeah, that movie's crazy.
Seen that movie.
I haven't seen that.
Idiocracy, I swear to God, this describes what we're going through
It
right
does,
now.
it does.
They have a black man that's president named Chico Gonzalez. Like he has a Mexican name, and it's like so. The further we got in the future, the stupider we became.
Interesting.
So think about it. Think about it right now. Like if you, sorry to say this, but if you got locked up, you knew your crib's phone number. Like you knew your 718-699-0122. You know, damn, I don't know if somebody really got this number right now, so I gotta relax. But you knew your number.
Absolutely.
Like right now, I don't know not one person's number. I just go to your contact.
Yeah, that's so
interesting.
Huh?
Why is it easy? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Jesus, I don't know, because I just got you as under Mr. Lee, nigga. I don't got you as 1, 2, 3, 4. But just think about it. I don't know nobody.
Very interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
we don't have to retain information
So
anymore.
the
We're used to
more
going
we got technology,
of this.
the more I realized I don't know, because I got you as Nikko. Like before, it's me.
Exactly.
Like I said, 699, it'd be 310, you know, something like that. Now it's just, you know, I got you as your contact.
It's called a smartphone, not because it makes you smart, but because you make it smart by what you put in it. You give the government everything with this. The government's in this building. They've been in this building. They listen to everything you're saying right now. Edward Snowden gave this information all out, which, by the way, that's in my book that I want to give you.
Oh, please give
Message to the millennials.
That's the first book I'm going to read in 10 years.
I'm honored, brother. I'm honored. Definitely.
Yes.
In that book, I go over specifically in social media. One of the only books I've ever seen that covers social media extensively.
Okay.
Edward Snowden, who was a whistleblower.
And he's a nigga in Russia.
In Russia right now, in asylum. Yes, he sought asylum. And he broke it down dealing with the United States government, all the information, how they record every phone call, every text message, every email.
There's key words, like if you say Allah.
Oh, of course.
If you say bomb.
Anything dealing with Islam or Muslims, the number one keywords.
Right.
Number one,
and once we say that, we say Allah, they
start to record everything.
Well, that's why that's why artificial intelligence is big and blowing. Yeah.
Opposite.
Yeah, because of that reason right there. The robots are here to take control of what you ain't using.
I got a
in your
robot
mind.
in my house. Should I get rid of it?
Huh? Is it the vacuum or which one is it?
No, I got a Timmy. Shit run around and bring me my blunts. I'm using it for all the wrong reasons.
Crazy that iRobot.
No, but that's cool.
Real.
That's cool.
Yeah. I saw iRobot. I did not like that movie. I was scared to death of that.
You do know it's a robot that has her citizenship in Iraq and I think 2 other places.
What?
Yeah.
And dude in Japan married a robot.
Yeah, it's real.
Legally,
Niggas is out here.
Tesla is stating that they want to download by putting a microchip or actually a chip electrode in your brain and have you able to download your entire personality into a machine. They are now trying to create humanoid, programs and these type of beings. That's why you have a part of the government called DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, which uses robotic technology to do things.
Because they gotta be doing that with chicken, because there's no way everything tastes like chicken.
With chicken?
Come on, man. That's chemistry, brother, manipulating your taste buds.
Now, are you a vegetarian or no?
No, I'm a pescatarian, so I mainly eat fish.
Okay.
And every now and then I'll dabble in a little more meat every now and then, but fish is the main source of meat.
Okay, but they gotta be cloning some chickens out here.
Oh, most definitely.
Especially KFC, right?
Of course.
Those chickens, man? Come on.
They shoot them chickens.
KFC never ran out of chicken.
They shoot them chickens up.
They never ran out of chicken.
Yo, you ever go to the grocery store and buy chicken? Because I cook. So you ever go to the grocery store and buy chicken and you see how fat some of them chickens are? The legs be. I'm talking about like.
The legs are size of a normal chicken.
You say you got a boy, they be fat like that with the skin. I'm like, they're shooting them though.
No, listen, Nikko, listen, crazy shit is.
With hormones, right?
Crazy shit is, first time I go to Europe.
Y'all heard that shade.
First time I go to Europe, I see they chickens and they see they cows. And you know what I say to them? I said, man, y'all chickens and cows is sick. They said, no. Your chickens and cows is sick. And I did not know that.
Yes.
So it took me years to come on that. That's how a cow actually looked.
Yeah.
That's how a chicken actually looks.
Yes.
The shit that we got
It's on steroids.
is on steroids. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. You know what I mean?
An estimated 70 to 76% of the food supply in America is genetically modified. Okay, so what you have to understand is GMO, okay, Monsanto, etc. This is why we have to get back to farming.
Foul niggas. I know who they are. Leave me alone, Monsanto.
No,
I know you're a foul nigga.
Yeah, Monsanto.
That's the niggas that.
Yeah,
that's the niggas that they grow it. They foul. They grow fake soybeans and they give you shit. They make you grow titties and shit like that.
They own the patents on all that stuff.
They own patents on seeds. They sue farmers. I mean, it's real. So that's why we have to get back to farming, even in your backyard, even in your house, right in the windowsill.
They grow a little weed. They grow a little food. It's okay.
Right, you're gonna grow. Yeah, you can get the munchies, grow some food too. If that's what you're gonna do. Okay, but we have to get back to that because we have our mouths all day long in the enemy's kitchen. And you wonder why we're getting prostate cancer at 25. Why we can't run a mile and we're only 30, we're only 40, we're only 50. I'm just being honest, bro. For instance, Minister Farrakhan was bench pressing over 250 pounds at 60. Come on, man. That's what I'm striving to be like. I ain't playing with this. But that's where all these cancers are coming from because we keep eating what they give us. We have to get back to farming, establishing our own farms, growing our own food. Like most people do. That's why in Europe, most of the food is healthier.
That's right.
Or just read the back of the labels. You know what I'm saying? When you in the grocery store, you buy food, read the back of the labels.
I ain't gonna lie.
Look at the sodium, the sugar count, look at all that kind of stuff.
Bread and drink wine all day
and they don't get fat.
They don't get fat.
Yeah.
So our government, they said it's no money in healthy people.
No, sick care, brother. Health care.
Medical economy.
Sick care. They
prescription medicine. Yeah, of course. Prescription
America's
medication.
one of the sickest countries on the planet. Over half of the country is on some form of medication.
My grandma had 10 different bottles of medicine before she died, right?
Oh, you don't want to go with the medication.
And I'm like, that's a whole different. I didn't know what that was. I was like, oh, this is what you need. This is how you get old, and this is how you get old. I'm thinking this is normal. But then as I started educating myself, I'm saying that ain't normal.
Pharmaceuticals, brother. You're talking about witchcraft.
It's a whole different kind of drug.
Well, the word pharmaceutical comes from the word pharmacy, which means sorcery and or witchcraft in Greek. It's in the Bible under pharmakia. So you're dealing with pharmacies, you're dealing with witchcraft and sorcery. You're not supposed to have medication or pills or drugs, legal drugs.
Like, I don't even fuck with Advil. Like, if I have a headache, I just ride it out. Like, most of the time, even when I get sick, like today I was feeling a little sick, and like, they're like, get him therapy. I was like, man, fuck it. Like, I gotta be real sick. Because I don't fuck with no medicine. I don't fuck with none of that.
Your body is deprived of minerals, is deprived of water. You need to drink at least half a gallon to a gallon a day.
95% water every day.
I fuck with sea moss.
I've been doing
sea moss, which has 92 of the minerals.
Excellent.
Yes.
Include bladderwrack with that. That has the other 10 minerals. Your body has 102. Yep. So that will give you the whole 102. Which
I've never heard of this one.
Oh yeah, bladderwrack. BLADDERWRACK. Bladderwrack with the sea moss give you the 102 minerals. Your body will be in a nice balance. You also want to include as much water, not purified, distilled minimum, spring, primary. Okay, a lot of different things, but raw fruits, raw vegetables for the vast majority of exercise.
Waters that's fucked up too?
Oh, come on, bro.
Yeah.
You see what I'm doing, man? Come on.
Yeah,
it's a real thing.
The alkaline, you want your alkaline, you want to be
I like alkaline, but you can't find alkaline everywhere.
True.
And it's pretty expensive, let's be clear.
I get the ones from Trader Joe's.
You can make it.
Trader Joe's got alkaline?
Yeah, 9.5.
You can make alkaline water, a little bit of baking soda in the water, different things like that, or Himalayan salt or Celtic salt in the water, boil it. You can make it as well, but preferably if you can get some good spring water, that's the best.
I get my sea moss from Dr. Sabi's grandson.
Beautiful. Yeah,
that's where I get mine from. That's my man.
Yeah,
that's my man.
Yeah, that's my man. I just spoke to him the other day. He's actually sending me mine.
Get it
next week.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But that and bladder racks, I'm about to write that down.
Yeah, get that, brother.
Yeah, I'm definitely writing that down in my mental. I am gonna be a part of that. So, man, Jesus, man. Is there anything else you want to say, Nikko? Before,
Yo, I just want to say, man. Why can't we all get along now? But on the real, for real. This is it's just have fun, man. Have fun. Like me, I gamified my life.
You what?
Gamified.
I don't know what that means.
Meaning
that, to a game.
Meaning that I don't take everything serious.
Like that
serious. Yeah, like gamified. Like when I was a kid, you know, me and my gang used to go to the video games. You know, in the hood, and we used to see who can get the highest score. We used to challenge each other.
Yeah, that's real. Yep.
But
that's real.
if I didn't get to that board that my boy got you and beat the score, I ain't gonna be mad at it. I'm just be like, tomorrow, watch me get you tomorrow.
That's right.
Get you tomorrow. So it was a fun thing, a fun competition. Right? It was competitive, fun competition. So I gamified my life like that the same way. The things that I take serious is research, you know, finding out things. And not listening to someone else's tongue. Finding out what that tongue is saying matches what you studied, and it makes sense to the logic. So I just deal with life on logic basis. Like, just if I can't explain the logic to you and make you believe the logic, then I don't deserve to win the conversation or the argument. Period. And that's how it goes for me. So I judge everybody on the same principle. I hold everybody accountable on that same standard. If I can't show you the logic in it, I don't deserve to win the argument.
Dope shit.
So, what I would say, that's from the love and hip hop standpoint. I know that's what a lot of people are gonna probably want to know. This guy Nikko is talking now because nobody knew. I'm like a ghost, right?
Yeah.
People haven't heard my story.
You like almost disappeared after those seasons.
I disappeared. I'm just in my.
That's why I saw you. I said, "Nigga, you gotta come on."
Exactly. And that's the first thing you say. Yo, you gotta come on because you deserve a shot. That's what you told me.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I know you.
Right.
Like I know you before that shit.
Right.
And I know you took that role.
Yeah.
I know you like the way they depicted you. They made you seem like a foul person.
Right.
So as a brother with a format, I wanted you to say because I know that was a role you was playing. Yeah. I needed to hear you say that because I'm a fan of the show and I was a fan of it. But and the fans because that's what they thinking. They probably
think I'm a scumbag, right?
Yeah.
And then when they meet me in person, it's like a whole 20x them. They be like,
great guy. You're a great guy.
This guy's educated.
He's exonerated you on his show,
exactly.
And brought your real image back. So
exactly, and I appreciate that. So 2020, I'm with the 2020 vision right now.
Yes,
so my movement is, and my mission is to get to as many people as I can all over the world, and just have them stand on the foundation for themselves. But through my story, you know what I mean? Right. I'm just gonna tell my story and help whoever I can help. I want to be able to help
documentary on you.
Give them information and whatever they need to know. But the biggest thing in this whole thing of life is just really just learning and thinking. Your mind, we can think so further if we on our mind capacity. We just don't take advantage of it, right?
Yes.
So that's why robots is coming in. The robots is coming in for that reason because we're not taking advantage of our minds. So the robots is gonna do it for us, right? So anybody who's weak is gonna fall like sheeps or suckers. They're gonna just be wiped out because you didn't utilize your mind capacity that we have. Everything is inside of each and every one of us. Everything you want to know is in each and every one of us. We have the power to do whatever we want to do because it's in us. But if we don't maximize that through research, through reading, studying books, and just finding out the origins of certain things you want to know about, you're not going to really succeed. It's still going to be this world of bad and evil because that's just what it is, dark and light, right? So it's still going to be... It's funny because I went to my boy house, right? And he had a painting on his wall. As soon as I walked in, I seen this and I said, the first thing I said, I need a screenshot. I need to take a picture of that screenshot. So it was a picture of the devil in red, the angel in white. I got it as my screen share, but I'm gonna show you guys. But anyway, and I want you to get a close up of it. But they're in the sky. They're in the sky.
The devil's in the sky too?
The devil's in the sky. They both playing chess.
Great battle.
They playing chess. The angel is in white, and the devil is in red. But I'm gonna tell you what's interesting. Why I wanted to take a screenshot of it. So they're in the sky, They're playing chess against each other.
Which looks like heaven when you say the sky?
Yes, it looks like heaven.
Continue.
They're playing chess. The devil in red is playing with the white pieces. The angel is playing with the black pieces. So that was interesting to me, right? So I wanted to screenshot that. And this is so powerful. It was a powerful statement, right? It was so deep to me that I said I gotta have this as my screensaver. But I want to show you guys so you understand what I'm saying, because it hit me.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's clean too. Yeah, that's definite. That's a definite.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's real life right there.
I thought that was like real niggas. Like that's
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like, that's the devil and all right, cool. Let's focus in on that. Let's send it to the cameras.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, that's it.
So the message that I got from that is that yes, it's definitely what the brother is saying. It's a war going on, right? But it's a war within the minds.
Yes.
So if your mind capacity ain't at a level to compete, then you're gonna be a pawn, right?
Correct.
So
and they also say the devil doesn't come wearing red.
No,
it comes wearing white.
Of course, that's right.
So it comes as an
angel of light.
There you go.
You know what I mean? But that was interesting to me when I saw what pieces they was playing with in the colors. It wasn't more so the devil and the angel was playing chess. It was the pieces that they was playing with, which gave me this insight to say, wow, that's
I'll
deep.
let you know you're a different type of smart nigga. I probably looked at that and didn't even seen that. Like these niggas look ill. These niggas. It's like I'm very simplistic nigga.
That's why you need your brothers. Man.
Exactly.
So I think definitely, as a people, I'm colorblind personally.
Me too.
Right? Like personally, I'm colorblind because I do know that it's the mind that's the racism. It's the mental. It's the mind of the person. It ain't the color, yes, but it's the mind. So it's whatever been fed to that mind as a kid.
It's
as
an individual.
adult.
My father used to say,
Exactly.
if you're gonna look at somebody, look at the good in them first. So that's what I do. That's why I'm saying I feel like I'm one of the greatest people on earth. I'm not. Maybe I'm not. But I really look at people for the good in them. I swear to God. So that means that you literally have to show me the bad in you.
That's right.
You literally, because I don't give a fuck if I heard, listen, from
that's crazy.
Foul niggas to foul execs, and everyone will say, this guy's a foul dude, don't mess with him. And I'll still be like, nah, if you're gonna come into my atmosphere, I'm gonna give him 95% of the good shit. Which means if I say he's 50% a bad dude, that means he earned that.
That's right.
Now you know what's funny? I'm glad you said that, right?
You know what I'm
So
saying?
this is the value principles I stand on, right? Any situation I go into in the world, any man I meet, woman I meet that I go into, the first thing I'm gonna do is bring value first. Right? I'm gonna bring value first. So it's the same thing you saying. You bringing value first because you seeing the good. So you already bringing the value of goodness. I do the same thing. I've been doing that since I was a kid. You know me.
Of course.
Smile. You see me, I'm a smile. What up?
Always cool.
Right. Whatever you gotta say behind my back is different. A person, but I don't care about that. I'm gonna bring value first, right? That's how I've always been. So what I be telling people when they be like, yo, this one, I say, yo, you maybe sometime try entering a situation with looking at a person, bringing value to the situation first. However you can do it. It could be information, it could be whatever. And that's what I tend to do. So I find that to be a way better approach than bringing in, when you meet a brother or you meet a sister and you be like, she whack. She I don't like her attitude. I don't like this. She never opened up her mouth. You just don't like her attitude because the way her posture's moving, her swag, or his swag is moving, or how he bop, how he walk. That's why you don't like. So most for us black people, a lot of us, honestly speaking, I come from Brooklyn, you know. So how I grew up, we didn't like each other's posture. It wasn't nothing that we said. It was like, I don't like the way he move. I don't like the way he walk. His body language. So immediately, that's coming from a negative standpoint. You ain't bringing no value to the table. So if you meet that brother, and somebody introduces you, like, what up? You know what I'm saying? You're giving that cold shoulder. You never even talked to this dude before. That already sends off a signal. So now, you don't know who this guy is or who this woman is. So that's what we got to get past.
Yeah, see, we're
that's what we got to get past.
I'm saying way to settle on the best part. We look at the good in you until you show us the bad. And you said that that's how we're taught. That's why we can go around our brothers and we're not tripping. It's like, you a good brother. And you know, we don't want that negative to come out. We bring the positive to you so that you can reflect that positive. So, no, yeah, absolutely correct. But that's a very valuable principle. That's how we know.
So I mean,
you gotta start reading that.
No, I'm reading this one. I'm gonna read this, bro. Now, but let's talk about that message to the millennials because Elijah Muhammad had message to the black man.
That's what inspired.
Okay.
And everybody should get message to the black man. If you ever
I gotta reread that. I don't want to go out of it because, but I gotta reread it. No problem. But let's talk about this though right now. So what's the purpose of this right here?
The purpose of that book in August of 2017, the FBI decided to class black people who are passionate about who we are, love our culture, love our history, and we're not gonna sit down and allow them to just attack us like they've been doing. They class us as BIEs. So they call us Black Identity Extremists. That's what they call us now in this generation. Those of us who are just not going to bow down. But I argue in that book that it is not the black identity that they're afraid of, but it is the black intellect that they are afraid of, and how they are switching and trying to manipulate and create COINTELPRO in modern time. So that's what I argue in there, and I go through many different topics in there. Like I said, social media, the major one that I go into from the very beginning of social media and how it evolved. And I target the minds of the millennials. This generation specifically, and the way I spell it there is very key. But I target this one because they are targeting our generation, but our generation is getting most of their information from this. But most of what they're getting is misinformation, lies, doctored up things to manipulate how they think. So they don't know what's right, what's wrong. Like we was talking about the young rappers, they don't know. So I said, you know what, I need to put it in physical because Congress is also trying to pass a law to get rid of freedom of speech. So they're taking down videos talking about conspiracy, talking about what the government is doing, etc. So I said, I need to put it in a physical form, get back to how it used to be, reading a book because it works both sides of your brain. And if you get it physically, you can go through it. You can read it yourself. You don't have to worry about technology. It's not going to get deleted tomorrow. It's right there in your hand. And that way they can have a manual to at least know what's going on in this matrix so that they can navigate through it. You get what I'm saying? Like you said, the parents didn't know. They not going to teach them, probably didn't grow up with their parents, but they need something that's going to guide them through or explain what the hell is it that's going on and how can I get out of it. So it goes through many different topics. It goes through that. It goes through depopulation, television or mass media manipulation, etc. It gives them a blueprint or an overview of exactly what's going on, how they get out of it. And the last chapter goes over separating from the system and uniting with us as a people across the planet as a human family.
God damn, it's now I'm paraphrasing because I don't know my fucking rhymes. But I had a rhyme where I said, know where you stand and realize the mark of the beast is in your hand. 2 hands holding your phone. It's like you say to it. 2 hands holding your phone. It's like you pray to it. I said that. What fucking
5E, but let me. I think it was. Let me be great.
I said that.
That's the one with 5E.
That's where you have 7th Street.
No reason.
No reason.
For no reason.
It's called No Reason where I feel like they said the mark of the beast, right? I might be out of line or I might be on point. I might be on point. Like, just think about it. Like, I every day for like 2 or 3 hours of the day, I hide my phone from myself.
Smart.
I need to start.
You're smart, brother.
I don't wanna do it. I don't wanna hear ding ding and I hear that shit. I don't wanna think about money. I don't wanna do nothing. So like,
controlling your time.
So I started with 1 hour, then I did 2, and now I'm at 3. So like. Once a day, I just be like, yo, I just put it. I don't want to say I hide it from myself because I know exactly where it is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like,
you hide from it.
Yeah, I'm hiding from it. There you go. And I feel like it made me a better person. Like I feel like just getting away from it because the anxiety that it gives me, whether I come on there and I see good information. I see bad information, I react to it sometimes the same. And then sometimes, when I get on social media, I always kind of react to the negativity first. Like if somebody say fuck you, I'm liable to pay attention to the fuck you more than the I love you.
Yeah.
And I get 90% of I love yous. But them 4 fuck yous be hurting me. And I be wanting to be like, fuck you! And I'm like, why am I not paying attention to the love? So I know that this is the worst shit that ever. Like, what the fuck is social media? What the fuck?
So I had to. Right. Everybody's going through that. Right. The way they manipulate the system and the algorithms, they have you scrolling every day. First of all, scrolling. So you're overloading your brain with useless information, the majority. Number one. Right. Number two, you have them giving you likes depending on what you post. It indoctrinates you. They make you love or hate.
Hold on, stay. He just this is the rest of the lines to it. I'm sorry. I said try and go one day of life without using your phone. You probably feel awkward. Try to live one day without the gram. Like I said this like I know people who can't live. This is like 2 years ago, right? Yeah, 2 years ago. But I didn't even go through all this, the newspapers, the blogs, and all the shit I went through, the Facebooks and all that. But I realized, like, I'll tell you something. I probably shouldn't be saying this. I have a close friend. A friend of mine asked me to do something. I did it. But then they got mad. And I said, why would you be mad at me? They said, you didn't post it. I said, you asked me for a favor. Wow. I did the favor. I delivered. Yes. But the fact that I didn't post it, jeopardized your friendship. Oh no, the friendship is jeopardized. Wow. Because they asked for a favor and I did it. First off, I didn't post it because I didn't think you wanted to be embarrassed or something like that. Yes. But nowadays, if it's not on Instagram, it didn't happen.
Yes. People are
terrible.
People are breaking relationships, having divorces because somebody unfollowed somebody on social media. See, now you need to understand how good this enemy got us control. Because the majority of staff members in America's higher level of government happen to be psychologists because they have to know the mind. They manipulate the mind. These algorithms that they put in here are manipulated in such a way to where they can control your emotion. They know exactly how you're going to react. Right. So they do certain things, and people don't even feel validated, like you said, unless it's on the ground, unless it's on Facebook, which is Fedbook. Instagram is now owned by Fedbook. There's over 30,000 accounts created by FBI agents to sow. What you're dealing with, a lot of them happen to be either robot programs or agents of the FBI.
Or Tekashi 6ix9ine.
He had to drop it back in there. Yeah. That's real talk.
And the creators of these apps don't let their own children use it.
No. Most people who create apps don't have apps in their own phone. Matter of fact, I'll just tell you this. Most agents who work for the government have BlackBerries.
Yeah.
Okay? Just so you know, BlackBerry about to go up. But they have that because those are the ones that are very difficult to break into. They don't have the entire tracking system as Galaxies and iPhones.
And they're from Canada too.
Oh yeah, Edward Snowden breaks all that down. That's why he left America. He said they record everything. There is a warehouse.
He wants to come back. Let's be clear.
He doesn't. He wants to come because he said he misses his family.
Right. And Russia is like a rough place. Like,
they love Russia. They love, but and they have an entire warehouse right now that they're building in Utah to house all of the information that's being recorded. There's so much information that they don't have enough computer space in their mainframe, so now they're building an entire huge warehouse, a supercomputer, to collect all the data from inside of America as well as outside America. That's also chapter 2 of my book.
We brought you to a smart episode.
I'm glad.
It's love, man.
We brought you to a smart episode.
I was blessed today.
Yes, I'm be honest, man. I just want you to know, as a black man in this society and living in the world that I live in, it's no more. I appreciate the FOI. I can't describe how much I appreciate it, how much I see wherever I'm at in the world. When I see a FOI person there, I know he with me.
Yes, sir.
I know it. Like, I don't care if it's in Chili's, I don't care if it's in Chow, I don't care if it's in Wynwood. That's right. I don't care where I'm at. If I know, it's just a security blanket to me. Like when I see that, and I want the people to know, like how much hip hop owes the FOI. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I know Benzino, I know Dave Mays, cool with me. But I remember, them doing the Source Awards where they were just loose, and then I just remember the FOI just having to step up and be like, brother, y'all, we got you. Right. We got y'all, and keep certain things. The reason why when Suge said that about Bad Boy and they didn't tear that up tear that whole thing up was because the FOI. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's That's right. And every major beef in hip hop.
Cuban Common.
Q-Tip
and Rex in the Fire.
Come on. Well, that ain't never gonna be fixed. Let's leave that one alone. At least they try. At least they try. But that, and the thing about it is, and I'm gonna tell you the story. And I know we went way too long, but that's okay. This is great. They need to hear this. In 3 hours, that's fucking awesome. They need to hear this 3 hours. But I'm gonna tell you something. I first got signed. And I can't get into particulars because this is crazy, right? When I first got signed, I first made it, I first got out the hood, and people just was like, they wanted to test me if I still was. Back in the days, I was a shooter. It was a terrible thing that I did. I'm embarrassed about it right now. I don't even like to claim it at all. When certain people said that in their book, and they said that, I didn't say it. That was them who said it. Well, anyway, moving on. Some other shooters trying to, they realize.
Most of us go bad before we turn good.
They realize, oh, this guy might not never come back to the hood. So I had moves, which was the terriblest thing I did. I moved 12 blocks away from my hood. I could throw a rock to my hood, right? So in my mind, I was like, I'm gone, right? So I forget what the brother's name was. It was Kev or Kev. Did I say the story earlier? But the fact that they just stood up and I felt like I owed them, and I was like, like I said, I know I said this earlier, but I felt like, let me pay, and they're like, nah, bro, we live here, we together, and I don't know how the hell, because when the brother described it, I knew exactly the two people it was. I was like, again, I can't say this is some real shit. So, but I'm just saying, that's me.
Yes, sir.
How many other people did you do that? This is and I want to go up this story. I want to tell this story. I want to say, yo, they didn't have to do that. I literally was having my daughter at the time. My wife at the time was pregnant.
Right.
So if they was coming in there to kidnap me, what the fuck they was going to do to my daughter?
Exactly.
What the fuck they was going to do to that situation?
Right.
And I don't know how the brother peeped that. I think he looked at their eyes and said, they're not here for nothing good.
We trained, brother.
You know what I'm saying? They're not here for nothing good. So I personally, that's why when I seen you, because I followed you on the gram, and I didn't meet you personally at the time. And I seen you at LA's BET weekend. You know what I'm saying? The quote unquote, not the nicest weekend. And I seen them and I said, yo, bro, I need you on my show.
Yes,
and I said, it ain't the one. This is a need. And maybe it's a need for me, maybe it's a need for us, or maybe it's a need for the fans. We have these people who tune in, and they need to understand this side. Right. And same thing I said to you, because I said the same thing to you, because I said, I seen you, I said, nah, man, I want you on, because one, I know how they portrayed you.
Absolutely.
I know you was a role you took. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you. At least I think I know you enough for that. You was like, I can take that role. But I wish you on Stevie J. Like I said again, I want to reiterate that. I wish y'all squash that. I'm hoping you and me is cordial and everything like that. Big up to Jocelyn and everything. I know all that situation. It was very entertaining. Right. But one thing I gotta realize. After I watched Love and Hip Hop, y'all still gotta live your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm entertained for this hour, but you gotta live who you want to be. Right. And same thing, I want to thank you. I want to thank you both.
Thank you.
I want to thank you because we have to spread this type of information. It has to be available.
Yes,
and so many people. So if we quote unquote the hot show at the time, I'm glad to provide this information. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad to do that. But anything else you want to say before we get up out of here?
I just say it again, but I'm honored by your courage to bring on some brothers who do the real work in the community. Again, having an FOI in the Nation of Islam under Minister Farrakhan to come on your show. I'm really sincere because that says a lot, brother. People see this. And that love you display for the FOI is something that most people in this generation didn't know anything about. All throughout hip-hop, protecting all the artists, squashing the beats, people about to get killed, shot up, people don't even know. All this stuff was prevented.
Go right in the middle.
You see, and we do that in the hood right now, and in the arts and everywhere. But just for you to have enough integrity and courage to say, I'm don't give a damn what nobody got to say.
Yeah,
this needs to be, like you said, you shook my hand right there at the REVOLT Summit. You looked at me and said, bro, I need you on the show. And I felt that. I said, okay, good sir. I'm there. I said, let me know when it's there. You know, and so I'm honored by you. I'm honored by everyone here for letting your brother come in. Man, shook y'all up a little bit. No. But it's all love. And I don't mean any harm. I don't mean disrespect anybody. You know what I'm saying? But the truth has to be spoken. We have to get back to the real hip-hop, real family, real friendship, real brotherhood, sisterhood, real humanity. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that, brother, again. And, you know, whatever you need from me, from the brothers, whatever you need from me, we are there.
But the one thing I want to do, and then I want to get out of here, I want to just say this and then we'll get up out of here, is how do we spread that we need to be united?
By doing things like this.
Okay.
Leading by example. Number one. Breaking down those barriers. What you just did, I'm just telling you, this is about to go viral. Hope y'all understand.
No, we know what we're doing.
I know you understand.
We know what
my brother, thank you.
And we're proud of what we're doing.
Of course, but see, because that it's an anomaly. It's unreal. In 2020, you wait. What? It's like some old school, you know, Farrakhan, Malcolm, Elijah, all the different leaders, Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King. You bringing that type of feel back in 2020 with young brothers? They exist. You know, it's like it blows people's minds.
Because we just had Floyd Mayweather, right? And I was like, you know,
Brother Floyd.
I was with him last night.
Like kind of scared to smoke. I was kind of scared to smoke around him. But then he kept lighting my blunt. He kept saying, "Hey, smoke, it's legal." I said, "Yeah, I know it's legal." And I just feel like that's what it is. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm smoking or I'm drinking. Your message is still the same.
Right. That's it.
Regardless, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So
and
I just want to say thank
with
you.
my brothers. That's another reason why I'm like, I said that's my family.
Right.
We're not from heaven, bro. You do that, whatever. We're gonna do what we gotta do. But the message will get out.
Yes, that's
what I'm saying. Like you said, the example he brought up earlier was the person who was one of the OGs looking down on him. Pastor. He looked down on him, which made him turn away from church and religion and all that.
Yes, because I would see the pastors. But then I would see a pastor like, let me pick up the Pastor Clifford. Pastor Clifford would, you know what I mean, every now and then come and say, give me a talk, man. And I can relate to that. Like, I'm like, all right, now I can listen to Clifford a little more. You know what I'm saying? But when a person like will come around, that's why the 5% was attracted to me, because they said Clarence 13X, he came to the projects.
That's right.
And he went and got the worst of the worst.
That's right.
That was the 5%. It was the worst of the worst. And then you either graduated to F.O.I. or vice versa. It was something like
that's
that.
That's what we're trying to do, is go after our people.
And I could relate to that, but I couldn't relate to the guy that was like, oh my God, brother, you know, what you're doing the devil's work. I know I'm a good person. I just want to be a little bit inebriated. Let me get a little 25 seconds of this shit, you know what I mean? But I'm a great person at heart. But listen, let me get in because I'm going to keep talking all night. Nikko, thank you for coming through.
Thank you.
We're gonna take a picture and then we're gonna do a drop and then that's it. I'm gonna free you.
You just made me a part of history.
Yes, this is the one.